I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up.
I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. Everything I do so instinctive and so passionate. Every word I move so descriptive like an adjective. I got a vendetta against people who patented being negative when you should be getting after it. I got facts over tracks, this and that. Spitting slow, spitting fast. I could roast, I could gas. Think I'm okay at last, but I don't know if that can erase all the past. And the pettiness, a reflection of the emptiness. Hilarious, you think you're worth my time, you're delirious. Mysterious, because you hide behind a fake exterior. Inferior, you know I'll always be a bit superior. Get off of me, this ain't no humble brag. I want you to hear words, you can say them back. I want you to feel free from the chains that last, and to believe in what you got, it was built to last, yeah.
Now that I've been put through hell, I never got anyone's help. I had to do it all myself.
I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement.
Gonna learn the consequence of being incompetent. Mental health is confidence, dreams and some honestness. I'm not here to save the day, that's for you to take away. I could play a million mind games, but instead I say something not illogical, something that is topical. Rub it on and watch it go, make yourself unstoppable. Dreams are irresponsible, but they're always possible. If you just believe, you could be so remarkable.
Thoughts in my head, a collage and they spread. I'll be great one day, going off of my meds. No, I'm not giving up, no, I'm not giving in. I will make it to the top, taking off in the wind. I gotta make it, I'm saving every day to taste it. I'm patient, but my mind, it can hardly take it. I'm chasing a dream that I've had for several ages. A vacant, modern kingdom for the taking.
Now that I've been put through hell, I never got anyone's help. I had to do it all myself.
I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement.
I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up.
Cause I don't give a fuck what you say. Yeah, I'ma do shit my way. So you can go kick rocks, I'ma stack bricks up, build what I want to make. Yo, I got a lot of shit to say, so I'ma do this every day. I'll be writing things until I'm fucking buried in my grave. 6 feet deep under, but my body won't decay. Cause my messages are timeless, so they'll put them on display. Oh yeah, I rap with a certainty, I have a sense of urgency. A message for eternity, for everyone internally. I had some people burning me, but now they fucking learn to see I ain't the one to fuck with. Now they looking nervously, and I don't really care what you think of me respectfully. You can kick rocks if you think you're fucking better, see. I will outwork you, turn you to an enemy. Hurt you so bad that you're gonna need some therapy. I got the motherfucking recipe. I've been cooking up hits, I'ma leave a legacy. You'll be looking small when you're standing right next to me. I'm 5'10", bitch, but I'm 10 feet next to me.
Hey, what's up? Are we on? Can you hear me? Are we good? Miss Mago, hello. Chris, Greg, Jeffy, what's up? Sheepdog Neon, Tammy, can you all hear me? Are we good to go? Yes, sir. Okay. Yes, Master J, what is up? We have a full show today. Hey, welcome to the show. Your favorite show's on. It's me. Tommy is live. However, I face a slight dilemma. I don't want to go to Rumble yet. So I have his stream up on my other window. It's paused. When we go over to Rumble later on tonight, if there's no activity in ICE, I will play Tommy's stream in its entirety from the campus of the college he's at. I think he's at Portland State University. So we will recap. Yeah, he's playing music. That's okay for Rumble. For Rumble, Polish Drunk, what's up? For Rumble, the music is fine. But right now, I can't do that. Or why even bother with YouTube? So I don't know how long he's going to be out there. I don't know if he's going to go to ICE later on. We'll be monitoring the situation. But worst case scenario, later on tonight, when we do switch over to Rumble for our after hours program, we can just play the clip of Tommy's stream from this afternoon in its entirety, right? I mean, you can always go to his X channel right now and watch it on your own. We have several things queued up. You can say that in the chat, Polish Drunk, but I can't talk about that until I go to Rumble. But I agree with you. President Trump is set to speak at a engagement pretty soon. It is going to be, let me see here. Let me see if I can find it. Where is it at? Where is it at? Is it going to be here? Nope. Is it going to be here? Is it going to, there it is. He's set to speak at the congressional ball in the grand foyer of the White House. So we're going to be covering that. I don't know if it's going to be live. It says 8:15, which is 7:15 my time. I'm not sure if that's going to be something we're going to cover live. Hopefully we will be able to catch that live. I have it up. I have the White House and all the trimmings up. We're going to watch a few things to just catch up with today. If you did not know, the president of Venezuela has sent an invitation to President Trump to visit him in his country. We're going to be doing a poll in a few minutes once more people get in here to see if you guys think that's a good idea. I personally do not think that's a good idea at all. He should phone that motherfucking shit in. Ain't no way he should go to Venezuela. That's my opinion. I think it's too dangerous. I think these people are underhanded, conniving liars, and you gotta watch your six. You know what I mean? You gotta watch your six. Mom of Angel. Who else we got in here? We got the regulars. Proud Repup. What else we got? We got the regulars. F no. Yeah, I agree. I'm not interested in the idea of my president going to Venezuela, because if something happens, then we have to use the N word, the other N word, the one we're allowed to say, the other N word, not the not the racist one, the other one, the other N word. We have to take Venezuela and go. You know what I mean? We got a Hiroshima and Nagasaki, you know. Trump signed an executive order today. Well, we got the White House press briefing with Caroline Levitt pulled up. I will see, while we're watching this, I will see if I can find... Oh. Yeah, it's on right now, right? Okay. That's on right now. I'm going to get back. We're going to start this here. You know what? We will watch this. We'll watch this second. Let me put it in the queue real quick. We got this. This is the one you mean, right? This one right here. We're going to watch this first because if you did not know, we captured an oil tanker from Venezuela. The White House is live. Yeah, I understand that the White House is live. Oh, well, that's what this is. We didn't catch the whole thing, but
Seen the utilities, we've seen the build out of the internet and the fiber.
since this is live, we'll just go with this right now. We can always get to my videos later.
We have the lead.
Cool.
We've got to maintain it. And
Can you hear it okay?
Be the single biggest source of economic growth, but everything else we do. But with our defense, there's no use in having a golden dome if China's AI can get around it. There's no use in spending all this money on defense. And the U.S.
Since this is live, we'll just go with this. I'm willing to adapt.
President Trump's leadership, he has accelerated the growth. We're actually
Smash the like button for me, please, please. Hit the like button. We should have 70 thumbs up.
AI data centers.
Please,
Most
thank you.
importantly, President
And share
Trump
it.
Had the incredible idea.
It's a
to
show.
Allow the companies
Oh, I didn't do mine.
to create their own power, and we are going to see soon that communities near AI facilities will have.
Hey, hold on. Liquid, Mr. Based. Here's a big $2, brother. Keep it going. Thank you so much, sir. I appreciate that. I'll do this one really quick, right? You ready? Here we go. Here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all age. No. 18 and plus in my stream. Good Lord, I don't want to get in trouble for that crap. You kids, go watch SpongeBob or something. No, I'm not the one for you, okay? Everything you're going to hear tonight that comes out of this place right here is my opinion and my opinion only. This is a show. I am a character. This is a broadcast. You're watching a television show. Basically, it's going to start at a certain time. It's going to end at a certain time. I am not a restreamer. I am a content creator extraordinaire, and I am a independent journalist and reaction channel. If you don't like that, I would suggest you do a better job on your channel. Maybe you won't be so jealous of other people's success. How about that shit there, Cupcake? Huh? Thank you very much for watching the show. It's just a show. The views and opinions expressed outside of all this are not my opinions. I can't control what someone else says. Hell no. I'm not even going to try to control what someone else says. Why would I do that dumb shit? So, the way we're handling our Alex Electric Gaming, what's up, brother? The way we're going to handle this from now on is very simple. If you've been here before, you know what I'm going to say. At the point where we change from the nightly news broadcast recap to the live in your face protesting, screaming things from Tommy, whether it's at the campus and we recap, or whether he goes to Svarter Brander, thank you so much for joining over on Rumble. Yeah, that's another thing. We're live on Rumble, Twitch, and YouTube right now. When we switch over, we're going to drop the YouTube stream and go after hours like Steven Crowder. I didn't mean the rhyme, but that's what it is. We're going to go over just like Crowder does, and we're going to have an after hours, anything goes show on Rumble. I can watch it uninterrupted. I don't care if they play music. Hell, I might even play music. I don't care if they say some things on YouTube that I can't say. I can't even say the R word. They like the R word. I can't even say the R word. What the hell? So I'm going to lean into the R word at the moment we go over to Rumble. Okay, we are live on Rumble now, but at some point we're going to turn off the Cupcake Land of YouTube stream, and we're going to go over to the adult grown-up land of Rumble streaming. Okay, so stick with me. We'll be live at least until about 10 p.m. So that's 5 hours from right now. What show is on for 5 hours? Boom. Let's get back to this. We'll finish this as soon as this live goes away. We'll get to my videos. We'll see how the night takes us, right?
So this is an important document today.
It will not be boring at all, guys, and I won't stop it again. It will not be boring because I have 3+ hours of my own content that not my own content, but the videos that I've looked for, that I've searched for, that we're going to watch 3 to 3.5 hours worth. That plus commentary, plus whatever else we get into. We should probably not even get to all my videos, and that's fine with me. So I just want to entertain you. I want you to keep coming back. And I realize I'm going to lose a lot of members at the end of the month, and I would like to maybe lose less than I think I'm going to lose. You know what I mean?
Do you have any questions?
Oh boy.
On this subject, President Trump, are you more worried about the U.S. winning the race for AI dominance with China or about AI's potential threat to humanity?
Both. We're looking at that very strongly. We have a lot of threats in the opposite way if we don't do it. You look at the medical and medical research. Already the things that have come out of AI in terms of medical and cancer research and things, we're way ahead of what we ever thought we'd be, just from the infancy of AI. So really both, and we want to be very careful with it. We also know that a big part of our economy, it could be 50, 60% of our economy going forward, for a period of time at least, especially during this startup, is AI and AI based. We have trillions of dollars of construction going on, and that construction would stop, or it would certainly be, a lot of it would be halted. So look, we're leading China. We're leading China by a lot. China knows that, and not doing this would be the greatest gift to China and other countries, but China in particular, that China has ever received.
And with Venezuela, now that we've seized this tanker, is the campaign against Venezuela still just about drugs, or is it now also about oil?
Well, it's about a lot of things, but one of the things it's about is the fact that they've allowed millions of people to come into our country from their prisons, from gangs, from drug dealers, and from mental institutions, probably proportionately more than anybody else. They came in from many countries. We're getting them out. We had 11,888 murderers come into our country. Many of them are from Venezuela. We had thousands of Tren de Aragua, the gang, come in from, which they say is the most violent gang. I don't know, MS-13 is pretty bad, but Tren de Aragua, they say, is the most violent gang. That comes from the prisons of Venezuela. It came out of the prisons of Venezuela. So it has to do with a lot of things. They've treated us badly, and I guess now we're not treating them so good. If you look at the drug traffic,
Hey, smash the like button.
by sea is down 92%. And nobody can figure out who the 8% is, because I have no idea.
Nice, Greg. I'll look at it. I'll look at
Involved
it.
in that
I
right
didn't
now
see it
is
yet.
not doing well. And we'll start that on land, too. It's going to be starting on land pretty soon. Thank you, Peter.
Mr. President, in Indiana, just a few moments ago, the Senate there rejected the congressional maps to redistrict in that state. A number of Republicans voted against that redistricting effort. You have spent a lot of time talking about this. The Vice President traveled to Indiana. What's your reaction?
Well, we won every other state. That's the only state. It's funny because I won Indiana all 3 times by a landslide, and I wasn't working on it very hard. Would have been nice. I think we would have picked up 2 seats if we did that. You had one gentleman, the head of the Senate, I guess, Bray, whatever his name is. I heard he was against it. He'll probably lose his next primary, whatever that is. I hope he does, but because he's done a tremendous disservice. I mean, think of it. It's a great place. I love the people there. They love me. We won in a landslide all 3 times. Got tremendous votes. I got record votes. And then there's no reason for doing that. And the Democrats do it to us, so I can't imagine that they do it. But I wasn't very much involved. But there's a man named Bray, as I guess, head of the Senate. Was that Bray? Is that the name, Bray? I mean, I'm sure that whenever his primary is, it's, I think, in 2 years, but I'm sure he'll go down.
Rumble's just like YouTube. It's
I'll
free.
certainly support anybody
You can
who
spend
wants
money if you want to, but not
I
necessary.
ask you briefly about on AI.
Oh, I should
question I-
link my. Hold
On
on.
the AI side, the flip side of what you've done today is what kind of agreements you can get with China, particularly on the national security threats posed by AI. During the Biden administration, there was a vague agreement on not using AI in the nuclear weapons complex. Tell us what you
thank you, Liquid.
envision
That's
and
really
what
nice of you.
conversations you've had, if any, with President Xi on.
We have 1,100 members, Liquid.
Yes.
I speak to him a lot about it. I speak to him a lot, actually. I have a very good relationship with him,
1,100.
as you know. If you had another president, you would
Liquid, make sure you join the Discord.
problem.
There's a link on the
They're
community
purchasing
page.
Tremendous amounts of the soybeans and our
Hey,
agricultural products.
like and subscribe.
Along with a very well. No, we talk about
Please,
AI quite a
thank
bit.
you.
We talk about
Please.
everything quite a bit.
Well, do you have specific
No, one of the things
guardrails
that-
you're trying to put together with them?
One of the things I talked to China about is the denuclearization of weapons. We'd like to see if we could stop that.
You mean
I've
arms
spoken
control,
to.
not-
I'm talking about nuclear weapons. I've spoken to China about that. I've spoken to Russia about that. And I think it would be something that we would want to do, and they would like to do, and I think Russia would like to do.
They've said they won't join New START or a follow-on to New
Well,
START.
that's what they told you, but you know what they tell you is different than what they tell me.
Ukraine, Mr. President, just briefly, you made a commitment to the Europeans back in.
Oh, Fuzabad isn't live.
To participate in some kind of
Uh-oh.
a peacekeeping force, should there be a peace
You're
agreement.
right.
You mentioned, I think, air support, intelligence, and so forth.
Why?
Does that commitment still stand? Is the U.S. ready to go contribute to
It's
this?
called the security agreement,
Yeah.
basically, that they
Yeah,
call it, the
which sounds
security
like
agreement.
one
Yeah,
of
we
the
would
four.
help. We would help with security because it's, I think, a necessary factor in getting it done. I thought that we were very close with Russia to having a deal. I thought we were very close with Ukraine to having a deal. In fact, other than President Zelensky, his people loved the concept of the deal. You know, we threw something out.
This is the four-part deal that you.
Well, there's 4 or 5 different parts. It's, you know, a little bit complicated because you're cutting up land in a certain way. It's not the easiest thing. It's sort of like a complex real estate deal times 1,000, right? But it's a deal that would have stopped the killing of thousands of lives every month. Thousands and thousands of lives, mostly soldiers, but as you know there's some
Are
bombs
you
being
headed
dropped.
to sort of a Korea-like ceasefire there where you don't resolve?
Well, there's a meeting on Saturday. We'll see whether or not we attend the meeting. We said we'll attend the meeting if we think there's a good chance of. They want me to attend. They want us to attend, and we'll be attending the meeting on Saturday in Europe if we think there's a good chance. And we don't want to waste a lot of time. We think it's negative. We want it to get settled. We want to save a lot of lives. As you know, in the past we spent could be $350 billion giving it to Ukraine. You know, we got nothing in return, but we gave it to Ukraine. I ended up getting rare earth in return, even though I didn't spend money. And we are now selling weapons to NATO. We're not selling it to Ukraine. We're selling weapons at full price to NATO, as you know. They distribute those weapons probably to Ukraine for the most part. They're probably doing it to others also. But we're not involved in the war other than the fact that we are involved in a negotiation because people want us there. Ukraine wants us involved very much. Europe wants us involved. I have a great relationship with the countries of Europe. As you know, I took GDP. I took what they're spending as a percentage of GDP, but it was at 2 and they weren't paying, and now it's at 5, and everybody's amazed. But that 5% is a lot of it's coming back to the United States. With that being said, I'd like to see the killing stop. 25,000 people died last month. Soldiers, mostly soldiers.
Yeah,
Some
Chris, it
people
might be
also, the
broken. I
bombs
don't
were
know.
dropped.
I gotta fix
But
that.
for the most
Thanks for
part,
letting me know.
25,000 soldiers.
I might
stopped last
change
month.
the night
I would
bot
love to see it
or some
stop.
other bot.
And
We'll see.
We're working very hard. It doesn't
okay.
really
That's all right.
affect
That's
the
all right.
United States unless it got out of control. You know, a thing like that, as you probably know, because you are a professional, a real professional, which is something I don't say about a lot of other people, but you are a great professional. Things like this end up in third world wars. And I told that the other day. I said, everybody keeps playing games like this. You'll end up in a third world war, and we don't want to see that happen.
Mr. President, can you confirm that you have appointed a general to lead the stabilization?
Joe, I don't give a shit about some other guy who doesn't stream on a regular basis. Why the fuck would you bring him up? Who gives a shit about him?
Yeah, we're working very much on Gaza.
Caveman.
We actually do
Okay.
have a real peace in the Middle East. We have 59 countries supporting it, which is never happened before. We have countries that want to come in and take care of Hamas, as an example. We have countries that want to come in and take care of Hezbollah in Lebanon, as an example. And I say, right now you don't have to do that. You may have to do that, but we have countries that are volunteering to come in and literally take care of the whole thing. We have a great peace in the Middle East. It's never happened before. And I think it's very strong, actually.
And with Prime Minister Netanyahu, you're supposed to meet him end of this month. What's on the agenda?
Well, we get along with him very well. He's been a wartime prime minister, certainly. We did a big thing when we went in with this very plane right here, this beautiful plane. We went in with those B-2s, and now I can use the word because it's been confirmed by the Atomic Energy Commission, we obliterated their nuclear capability, their potential. And their nuclear capability would have been there in about 2 months. I think it looked like it was, some people say 2 weeks. I don't know if it's 2 weeks, but a very short period of time. They were very close to having massive nuclear weapons.
Ginger, what's up?
And these guys went in and they did a job. And that made peace possible because everybody was afraid of Iran, and now they're not afraid of Iran anymore. And Iran would like to make a deal with us.
Your own national security strategy does not say obliterated, sir. It says set them back. Your intro does.
Well, the Atomic Energy Commission said obliterated, and the people that have seen the site said obliterated. And frankly, Iran said it was obliterated. And to show you how accurate it was, and you know, I fight for the pilots because the pilots and those people went in there at great risk, and they hit every single target on every single bomb. And they did a lot.
I miss you too, Miss
damage.
Maga.
And for them to be given anything less than 100%
Welcome back.
of the credit is unfair. So I will tell you, the Atomic Energy Commission said it's like gonzo. It's one person actually used the term obliterated.
Joe, this is never
Iran
going away.
actually said that they probably can never go there again.
Joe, you don't honestly think, Joe? Do you really think, Joe, in 2028 the Democrats are going to win? Really? You think that?
Can probably never start there again. If they ever started, they'd probably choose a new site. But regardless, we
Who?
took out the
AOC?
site with
Who?
great
Gavin?
talent. No
You're
other
an
country
idiot.
could have done that. No other country has.
Hey, Joe, I'll bet you any amount of money that you want to bet me that the Democrats not only won't win 2028, but they won't win another presidential election in my lifetime. In fact, Joe, in 2044, I'm going to vote for Barron Trump. You can go fuck yourself. How does that feel? This is never going away. You think this ends with Donald Trump? Donald Trump isn't the end, Joe. Donald Trump is the beginning.
It's like we do, but no other country could have done that. We have the best weapons in the world. We have the best military in the world. And when we took out Iran, that allowed for peace. There's no way that, and I really have great respect for the king.
There's literally a 0% chance that JD will not be the president in 2028. Who's going to beat him? Who? Gavin? Was he going to run on California's success? Who? Jasmine Crockett and AOC? You can't fucking be serious. Who, Joe? Who's going to beat the MAGA movement and JD Vance? Who? Who's the magic combination? Tell me, please. Yeah, because they let Bernie win the first time, right? They destroyed. Bernie's going to be almost 90. Shapiro, I don't even know who Shapiro is. You're talking about Ben Shapiro? Is that who you think? You're an idiot. Are you stupid? Who do you think? Who do you think is going to run for president in 2028 on the Democrat side? You can't seriously think it's going to be Bernie fucking Sanders. You're delusional if you think that this is over with Trump. I can't wait. Joe, I'm not going to ban you. I hope to God you never cross the line so I don't ban you. The Rock is a Republican now. You didn't notice? You didn't see that? He learned his fucking lesson real quick, didn't he? Let me tell you something, Joe. I can't wait. In like 3 years from now, I'm going to remember you and I'm going to remember your name. And 3 years from now, after JD Vance wins, I am going to lose it on you. So it's going to be horrible. You're going to be running away from me at full speed. I'm going to be relentless with it.
Saudi Arabia, for
I hold grudges. Don't give a fuck.
UAE, these are great people. These are actually great people and great leaders. There's no way they could have done a deal if Iran was not really nullified to a large extent. Iran is not the same country. Iran was a country that was feared by everybody. Now it's a country.
He after that bullshit with Oprah and him asking people for money when they could have just fixed it themselves. After all that whole breakdown, no. The wrestling world is mostly Republican conservatives. Consider the fact that the man you're looking at, Donald Trump, happens to be a member of the WWE Hall of Fame. Why? Because he clotheslined Vince McMahon at WrestleMania and was in a whole program with him and Bobby Lashley and Umaga and Vince and the billionaire, they shaved Vince's head bald. You think The Rock is not going to, when it comes down to it, think about himself and his legacy? He can't go out there and say that about men and women and gender and all that stuff that I can't even say. He can't go out there and say that. He might as well just go into a seclusion and never come out of hiding ever again. You can't be a Democrat without also completely destroying your career and fan base. That's not my opinion. Ask Kathy Griffin.
Very much downgraded.
Ask Rosie O'Donnell.
I'm sure they'll try and come back, and they're very capable people. Maybe they will, maybe they won't. But,
Vince McMahon pooped on a girl. He's not going to be president.
Quickly.
well, you know, they can try, but it's going to take them a long time.
Vince got himself into a shitty situation.
Come back, and they want to come back without a deal. Then we're going to obliterate that one too. You know,
He did, Alex. You're right.
Very quickly, we have great power. And we helped Israel a lot. We were shooting down the drones. We were doing a lot of things for Israel. We did a good job for Israel. But Israel did a good job. They fought. And they all fought bravely. Look, it's a war. That's a vicious war. They're all vicious wars. When you write, hey, you covered a lot of wars. They're all vicious. We never saw a nice one, right? Right. They're all vicious. But that was a big fight. But the big thing was the knockout of the possible nuclear capability, and it was a complete knockout of nuclear capability.
Hi, Lorraine. Yeah, it was a good day.
2 years or 3 years, they're not going to come back or not going to try. I think
this is live minus 30 seconds of yelling at Joe.
They want to try, and I can tell you that they would love to be able to make a deal with me. They would love to be able to make a deal with me, and I'd love to make a deal with them if we could. You know, we were not close, but not so close, but we were reasonably there for a deal with Iran before the bombing, and they would have been much better off if they made a deal. They could have had a deal. They could have had a deal where they would have been much better off. Look at what we've done. I mean, their place is blown up. Forget about the nuclear. The nuclear is gone, but they're look at the damage they've suffered, the death that they've suffered. They could have had a deal with nobody would have died, no buildings would have been down, nothing would have happened. We would have blown up their nuclear. That would have been it. They could have had.
Joe, you're a moron.
But they
That's the problem, Joe. You're just stupid. That's your problem.
Iran would like to make a deal with
you're,
me.
You're looking through a Democrat liberal lens of Trump derangement syndrome. You're not thinking clearly. Do you really think that there's a Democrat that can go out there and win over? Because you know what? In order to win, they're going to have to change Trump voters to vote for them. Do you know how many Trump MAGA people who voted for Donald Trump and MAGA people that AOC and Jasmine Crockett could pull to their side, Joe? The answer is 0. Nobody's going to make that switch, Joe. See, the problem, Joe, is you're just dumb. That's the problem. You're stupid.
Yes, please.
There's no help for these people, guys. There's no help. They're lost causes. Yeah, you don't act like it, Joe. You act like a liberal moron who doesn't understand reality.
Mark, why is something come up that I don't know about?
Well, he was nominated in April, and he still hasn't received even a...
Well, I'd like to see him. I mean, I'm hearing very good things about him, so I thought by asking that question, you know, something new came up.
You don't see it
breaking
in
news about
JD.
Mark Walker. You know, yeah, I'd like to see him. I've always found him to be a high-quality person, frankly. Yeah, I'd like to see that happen. I will say John Thune, though, has done a good job. He's approved. He's gotten hundreds of people approved. You know, we have a roadblock with the Democrats. They're just obstructionists, that's all. That's all they're good at is obstructing. They're not good at creating. They're only good at obstructing and wanting...
See what Joe did there, guys? Clearly, TDS stands for Trump derangement syndrome, but Joe decided to make up his own fucking facts. See, Joe, that's how I know you're a dumbass liberal, because you just make up your own fucking facts. Nothing you have said is even true at all. You're just stupid. And you think you know, but you don't. You know 0 about politics, Joe. 0. I'm surprised you even know who the fucking president is.
Open borders and men and women's sports and transgender, all things that transgender for everybody, all things that people don't want. And they're obstructionists. You know, they're doing that with healthcare. We have a great healthcare proposal where we pay all of the hundreds of billions of dollars that the insurance companies have been making, their stock is up
Dude, I hate
1,700%.
Twitch is
and
just
by the
full of
way, the
these
stock
bots.
market today hit another high. 52 times we hit a high.
See,
in
you're
the
done. You don't even know what I
period
said.
during my second presidency, and
Idiot.
it's been
This
amazing. Nobody's seen anything.
This guy thinks Bernie Sanders is going to be president. The fuck? Why don't you might as well have just said Hillary Clinton, dude. You might as well have just said Hillary Clinton. You think Hillary's going to be president? Oh, but Bernie Sanders, right? Okay. All right, dude.
They like it. We had
But
the greatest
President Jasmine
economy in
Crockett,
history
you think?
in my
You
first
think
term. I
she has
think
a
we're
chance,
blowing
right?
away
She has a
right
chance.
now. I think we're blowing away. And again,
freaking
prices
idiot.
were the highest they ever were. Inflation was
just
the
like she
highest in
won last
48
time,
years,
right,
or,
Joe?
I think ever. They say
More, huh,
48
hon?
years. The precedent's 48 years.
Just like she won
I'll
last
accept
time.
that, but I think it was the highest inflation we've ever had under the past administration
This
with
guy.
the highest prices.
But you're
We have
not
high
a liberal.
inflation,
You
we
have
high prices.
conservative.
Prices are coming way down. Energy's coming way down. Gasoline is hitting now $1.99.
So, what does that mean? We have an electoral college for a reason. Joe, do you know? Joe, I'm going to put you on the spot right now. Joe, do you know why there is an electoral college and we don't just go by the popular vote? Do you know why? Can your little fucking brain come up with an answer to that? There's a reason why.
States, and it's way down. Gasoline is way down. And when gasoline and
Griffey.
energy comes down, everything follows. But prices are coming down.
I'm going to fly to Australia and
have an
slap you,
unbelievable
Griffey.
economy.
Hey, we're going to have a match.
401ks are setting a record. 401ks that's owned by a lot of
Yeah,
people.
Bernie's going to be 90.
Because
Exactly.
they're based on the stock market. And the stock market for 50 seconds, this 50-second time, has just...
Actually, Joe, that's sort of right. Kind of. The reason we have an electoral college is so we don't have 1, 2, maybe 3 places around the country, just those 3 places deciding our election. It's so that, like you said, every state gets an equal and fair shake. But you're claiming that Hillary could win. You realize that Hillary cheated, right? She lied about the Russia hoax. She lied about this. She lied about that. Who knows what? She spied on Trump's campaign. Joe, you do not realize that you're on the wrong side of history? You're on the Darth Vader side. You're on the evil side. You know that, right? Yeah, we're all Joe, we're all going to vote for another Joe in 2028. They're going to dig Biden up, right? Like weekend at fucking Bernie's and prop that motherfucker up. And you and I, Joe, we will just hold Biden during the debates. He's going to run. You going to vote for Joe Biden? This guy thinks fucking Bernie Sanders is going to be president, guys. Jesus Christ, dude.
hit a brand new high.
But you say you have conservative value?
It's amazing what's happening. And I will
You're a
say
liberal,
this,
Joe. I hate to tell you.
Our country is respected again. I think we're respected like never before. The United States is respected again. We have a country that was a dead country 1 year ago.
2044, it's going to be
And now it's the hottest
Hunter
country anywhere in the world.
Biden versus
Thank you very
Barron.
much, everybody.
Thank you, press.
Thank you.
Press.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank
Good.
you, press. Thank you, press. Let's go. Let's
This is over. Okay, this is over. Oh. Wait, are we live? Okay, this is still live. We're sticking with it. Hold on. Oh, okay, it's over. All right. So we are also now waiting for White House to go live again. They're going to go live again. When they go live again, somebody will tell me that they're live again and we'll come back here, right? But for the meantime, I want to get an update on this boat, this oil tanker that we have acquired from our lovely friends. Client spin 2028. Yeah, that's interesting. As long as I'm the president. Thanks for the $5. I would run for president if I could. Joe, that's the only thing that you've said that I agree with. That 2028, it's over. You're right. It is over. JD Vance is going to be the next president. Aside from some sort of personal disaster, there's nothing that's going to stop that at all. All right, let's see what we got here.
The U.S. seizing an oil tanker off the coast of Venezuela that marks a major escalation in the crackdown against narco-terrorism. So we're watching this today. We're doing fine. Had a good night last night and a great day this morning. In New York, I'm Bill Hammer, and you.
My tip to everybody is this. If you go out on a weeknight and you have a great time, the next morning if someone says, how are you doing? You have to say,
great.
Better say great. Great, I'm great. So I'm Dana Perino, and this is America's Newsroom. And truly, Fox News threw a wonderful holiday party. It was the best part. I had a great time.
Chronic, what's up, brother? Happy holidays.
So Attorney General Pam Bondi releasing dramatic video of the Darien operation, and it shows U.S. forces swooping in from a helicopter above the vessel and then landing on the deck of the ship with their weapons drawn. At the White House, President Trump called the seizure more than justified.
From the standpoint of news, as you probably know, we've just seized a tanker on the coast of Venezuela, a large tanker, very large. Largest one ever seized, actually. And other things are happening, so you'll be seeing that later. It was seized for a very good reason.
So now all of this is expected to be a major point of discussion. House hearing gets underway a little bit later this hour on the worldwide threats to the U.S. homeland. Let's get right to it. Bill Maloogian reports from the Hill. Jillian Turner reports from the State Department.
I do now.
Let's start there with you,
what was I
Jillian,
missing? Who was I missing? Was I missing?
Venezuela. Good morning.
So, good morning to you, Bill and Dana. Overnight, Venezuela's leaders reacting to that seizure of the crude oil tanker. They are accusing the U.S. of theft and President Trump of
change your chat to live chat instead of top chat, guys. I just did.
Listen.
What was I missing?
The Bolivarian Republic of Venezuela denounces and repudiates energetically what constitutes a blatant theft and an act of international piracy, announced publicly by the President of the United States, who confesses the assault of an oil ship in the Caribbean.
Reporters asked President Trump yesterday what now happens to all of the oil aboard that ship. Here's what he said.
We're interested in the seizure of this tanker. What happens to the oil on this ship?
Well, we keep it, I guess.
Where does it go? What port does it go to?
Well, you have to follow the tanker. You know, you're a good newsman. Just follow the tanker. I assume we're going to keep the oil.
The Attorney General posting that footage.
Hey guys, I don't think Joe understands that fentanyl is used in many hospitals, if not every hospital around the country, as a drug treated. I mean, like my dad had surgery, major surgery on his whatever, esophagus and other things, and lung drained, and he was given fentanyl in the hospital. So you saying American drug companies develop fentanyl? Yeah, dude. It's a drug. My God, dude, these people don't understand anything.
The Caesar on social says the FBI.
Like, how did you figure out? How do you keep figuring out how to find my stream?
From the War Department, the U.S.
That's how smart I think you are. I can't even understand. You can. I don't even understand how you find me. How can you figure out how to turn the computer on?
Terrorist groups. Venezuelan dictator Nicolas Maduro, meanwhile, has been rallying his supporters in Caracas.
No more Vietnam. No more Somalia. No more Iraq.
Hey, Joe, every hospital in America uses either fentanyl or Dilaudid or morphine. How do you think that? Oh my God, dude, this guy, man. It's too early for you, Joe. Hey, Joe, leave and come back in 2 hours when I'm ready for you.
No more Afghanistan. No more Libya. No blood for oil.
So we learned from the president himself yesterday he has not spoken with Maduro since their shock phone call last week. In a sense, it's not surprising, though, because the president since then has continued to push for his ouster and still does not recognize Maduro as the legitimate leader of Venezuela.
That was quite the speech, quite the soundbite there. Jillian, thank you. We're watching all of it. Thanks, Department of State. Back now to our top story. Keep a very close eye on this. Breaking news, the U.S. stepping up its fight against narco-terrorism, seizing a tanker off the coast of Venezuela that was carrying sanctioned Iranian oil. President Trump says the operation was done for, quote, a very good reason. Let's get some analysis, a bit more. Rebecca Heinrichs, National Security Analyst, Hudson Institute. And Rebecca, thank you for coming back here. We're trying to figure this out. Here's the FBI Director, Kash Patel. The tanker has been used in recent years in an illicit shipping network supporting foreign terrorist organizations. This administration's efforts to crush FDOs and cut off the resources will continue day and night. What is the end?
Hey, Alan Parson, you don't like my hat? Is that what you're saying? You don't like my hat? I think that you ought to take a look around. You're in the other team's area. You're in this is MAGA country. Look around.
Game here as you see it, Rebecca.
Well, this is actually a perfect example of Venezuela's
Scuff, that's a great idea.
other authoritarian
I'm a fan of that
powers,
idea.
Iran. I mean, there is a deal
Hell yeah,
between
Scuff.
the
What's up,
Iranians and the
Rebby?
Venezuelans in 2022 to help one another. And as you said, Bill, so Venezuela wants to evade American sanctions
Rumble,
against
what's up,
Iranian oil, for instance. So it has this barter regime, essentially, where it exports heavy crude on these tankers to Iran, and then Iran refines it and can ultimately export it then to China, because China has a high demand for oil, refined oil. So there's this web of authoritarian countries increasingly collaborating to harm the United States. And the Trump administration, I think so rightly, interdicted this tanker that has been sanctioned for several years now.
Would you expect this to happen again, Rebecca?
That's why I asked Alan, because it's hard to convey what you mean in like a little sentence. Sometimes
continue to try to get
I don't jump to
conclusions.
conclusions.
Under our nose,
that you're
whenever we have such a heavy naval presence, Coast Guard presence, Navy presence in the region to shut
one
this
of them.
down. General Kane, of course, the chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, said over the weekend that we may expect to see more combat, he said, in our own hemisphere as the Trump administration is completely out of patience for this illicit activity right in our backyard.
Is this something that would suggest over the holidays we hear about special forces going in the dark of night?
Joe, I'm not Joe, bro. I promise you this.
We might
if
hear
I get
about
angry,
that, Bill.
Joe,
Again,
you won't have to wonder if I'm
understand
angry.
the narco-terrorism element
This is not
angry.
ask my chat. I'm not angry. Who's angry?
With hand in glove, the Venezuelan
Alex,
regime. Keeps
am I angry yet?
And fueled and collaborating the Venezuelan regime.
That wasn't angry, Joe. That was regular me.
That the narco-terrorists need. So that's the connection we keep hearing from Trump officials. But there's a much larger geopolitical picture here. And so I think we should expect, to the extent the Venezuelans try to get out from under us, you're going to see continued crackdown, just like the tanker that we're seeing here.
Okay, a couple things here. The president said Maduro's days are numbered. We played a soundbite that he delivered yesterday. Some of it in Spanish.
Me and Greg get angry. Me and Greg went to the same school of how to get angry.
Here's the state of play in the region. Our military is substantial.
Yeah, I'm AI anyways.
25% of our naval warships right now at sea in the Caribbean.
How much time I got? Do I have enough time to go to the refrigerator?
Rebecca,
I bought a refrigerator for right there.
Well, clearly the Trump administration's understanding that Maduro does have to go. Maduro is just a stooge for these other authoritarian powers establishing a foothold in our own hemisphere. And so the Trump administration wants Maduro to exit. He wants the people surrounding Maduro to force him out. And they want a regime that's friendly to the United States to replace him, which is, of course, what the Venezuelan people want. It's how they voted again and again. And so that we're trying, we at the United States is trying to force him out without actually having to do something more extreme, like strikes in Venezuela or some other military option that would be riskier to put Americans at risk. But clearly that is the end state at this point for the Trump administration.
I want to squeeze this in. Soundbite number 3, guys. Go ahead and roll it. The president was then asked about the Colombian president in South America.
Have you considered talking to the president of Colombia, who you call a drug dealer?
No, I haven't really thought too much about him. He's been fairly hostile to the United States, and I haven't given him a lot of thought. He's going to have himself some big problems if he doesn't wise up. Colombia is producing a lot of drugs. They have cocaine factories that make cocaine, as you know, and they sell it right into the United States. So he better wise up, or he'll be next.
So Gustavo
No, Dark
Petro
Sigma.
is the
I don't
leader in
drink
Colombia.
alcohol, so
He
no.
called Trump a barbarian.
YouTube
because
pays
of
that well.
narco-terrorist hits in the
OM,
Caribbean.
OM fug. Don't you notice that I live in a different place
Well,
now?
again, it's a network
Yeah,
of
YouTube bought me
these
a house
communist states
like
that have
a
been
week
terrible
ago.
for their own countries. Because they've been so terrible for their own countries, that's where we see the migrant flow into the United
Yeah,
States.
Climatics does not drink alcohol at all. Haven't been drunk in 25 years.
You have to have more stability in your own hemisphere. And furthermore, we don't want these countries facilitating drug flow, obviously, into the United States. So all of these countries that really have felt like they've had sanctuary, no longer do they have that. And they should be put on notice. If we're going to go after Maduro and Venezuela, of course we're going to go after these other regimes. And last thing I'll just say, you've got the opposition leader that has fled Venezuela, who's pro-democracy, Maria Machado.
Nadine, I'm trying to be on a regular schedule, and we're going to be live with Trump soon.
United States, and she's now
He's
safe
doing a
outside
thing.
Venezuela.
Well,
So.
she just got the Nobel Peace Prize, and she showed up in Oslo, Norway earlier today. Rebecca, thanks for coming on. More to come on this for sure. Thank you.
Hey everyone, I'm Emily Campagno. Catch me and my co-hosts Harris Faulkner and Kaylee McEnany on Outnumbered every weekday at
Read your
12 p.m.
bio.
Eastern,
Cool,
or
you were
set
an
your
NWA
DVR.
Texas
Also,
champ.
don't forget to subscribe to the Fox
Why
News
I
YouTube page
wrote
for
the
daily
bio, the bio. Why would I read it? I wrote it. Yeah. I wrote it. Hey, there's my championship belt from the NWA right there. That's it. That's the belt right there. That's not a replica. That's the actual NWA title belt. Oh, Alan. See, Alan. That's why I asked Alan, because it's hard to convey what you mean when like a little sentence. A little sentence. It's hard. So I always ask. I didn't think that you were against us. I had to ask first, though. You know what I mean? Trump is always doing a thing. Yep, he is always doing a thing. So we are going to watch a few things I have queued up. In the meantime, while we're waiting for this. Now, this is a murder capital of America protest. ICE deporting criminals. This is James Klug. If you're not familiar with him, he does street interviews. He's a really, really solid content creator. He tries to be objective and like fall in the middle. Hey, there's Fuzabot. Fuzabot, where the hell have you been? Chris, you mean this? I have a lot of hats, and it's not because I'm bald. It's just because I like to wear hats. I don't know why. Now, we're going to watch this. We're waiting for Trump to go live again. Well, he's got a speech at the congressional ball or something like that. We're going to watch that. That was my, Von Bass. That was the most high profile one that Joe, everybody thinks it's funny to say that, and it is funny, and I commend you for thinking that would be a good idea. But to be honest with you, and I'm not trying to sound like a big tough guy, but I would fucking beat your fucking ass, Joe. You would be so sorry to be in the ring with me after like 30 seconds. And it's not because I'm tough, it's because I'm a trained wrestler. I've been pile drived on chairs like more times than I can think. Like you don't understand. It's like muscle memory. You know what I mean? It would be like, that would be like you trying to like go like one-on-one in a game with like LeBron or somebody like you know what I'm saying? It's like such a gap. Like they're used to it. They have muscle memory. I'm not a big badass or anything. I'm just saying like it's different because I'm used to it. You know what I mean? It would be horrible for you. More than likely, Joe, I've had 1,700 matches. That doesn't count. And I went to training 4 hours a day, 3 days a week, and I never missed a training for almost 3 years, Joe. I was in the ring on my birthday, on Christmas, on your birthday, on Greg's birthday, on Jeffy's birthday. Rebby's birthday. She was out eating Mexican food, getting drunk with her friends. I was taking power bombs through tables. We're not the same, bud.
You know, they're killing people, and it's horrible.
Who are they killing?
Just like if you're colored, you know, it's just white supremacy.
I love agitating. That is my favorite thing to do, actually.
But you don't want to have a respectful conversation, right?
Not with you Nazis.
Are you American or you're European?
I'm European.
Okay. And you're here protesting immigration enforcement in the U.S.?
I'm protesting against what's happening in this country.
People are not illegal. I don't really believe in
No, just killer. I was in WWE. I mean, I was in NWA, not WWE.
What is going on, everyone? James Klug here. Today we are in New Orleans at an anti-ICE protest. We're going to try to have some conversations. Let's go talk to some people.
Oh, Rebby. Good. Rebby, I don't drink either. Yay. Hooray for no alcohol. That's good. That's good.
This is a first for us. Never been here. So hopefully it goes well. Sir, how's your night going? We're working on a video. No. We're working on a video. You mind if I ask what brought you out here?
Thank you.
Good. What do we do? Hey, would you like to weigh in? Not a very talkative bunch. That's okay. How you doing? We're working on a video. You mind if we ask what brought you out here?
I just, for my parents, I wish they would be here, but they're not able to come here for their own safety and everything. So that's mainly the reason I came out here. Yeah.
Where's your family from?
Just killer. Being backstage at Monday Night Raw as extra talent is not the same as being in WWE. You're basically like an extra. No, I was never actually in WWE. I honestly, the idea, I would have done it, of course. I mean, every wrestler would have, but just, I probably wouldn't have been very good at living out of a suitcase, always on the road, traveling nonstop. That's the part that probably would have like made it not worth it for me. I don't know if I could leave my family and just bail and stuff on my responsibilities at home. Yeah, no, I don't think I could have done it.
Honduras. Yeah. And so they can't be
Oh,
here.
cool. I never met
undocumented.
RVD. I like him though. He's so good in the ring.
Right. So you're here. Were you born in the United States?
Yeah, I was born here. I'm from New Orleans.
You're from New Orleans? Right on. And so you're here basically, what's your message?
I haven't seen this type of, like, the way they've been treating us since I've been here, and it hurts me to see that, and I just don't wish that upon anyone.
And then what would you like to see accomplished following some of these demonstrations that are happening in New Orleans? Do you just want ICE to leave New Orleans? Do you have a problem with them enforcing immigration laws? What would you like to see accomplished, basically?
It's just so aggressive. They treat us like we're not humans, and it hurts to see that. Maybe I understand the enforcement.
Yeah, just killer.
Some of
I have
them,
a house now.
But there's no reason.
I was living in an
way.
apartment before.
We went with the classic.
It is the number one.
Why are you shutting down conversations already? Oh, okay, you lost that one. How you doing? Hey, sweetie, what organization are you guys with? Do you mind if I ask?
Can you talk to our, please talk to our media liaison.
Who's that?
Stop, we're working.
Yeah.
My friend told me about this protest. I didn't see anything about it, but ICE needs to get out of our city. Stop deporting innocent people. You know, they're killing people, and it's horrible.
Who are they killing?
Just if you're not white, they're trying to get you. You know, it doesn't matter if you're documented or not. Just like if you're colored. You know, it's just white supremacy. Yeah, and it needs to end.
Do you mind if I ask you about the outfit? Is this...
I mean, they're clowns, but also I have like a thing I'm going to later tonight, so
okay.
Yeah.
So you're not dressing up as ICE?
No, but I could be, you know, because they are clowns.
You could be.
Yeah.
I mean, what are your thoughts about this? Do you think when it comes down to the deportations, when they're apprehending people, do you think they're when they're deporting them, do you think they're executing them? What are your thoughts?
You know, it's funny that the people she's protesting to keep in our country would probably SA her and unalive her. They probably, like, they're criminals. Like they would Lake and Riley her. Just saying.
Not supposed to talk to media, apparently.
Oh.
They really don't want people talking here. This is not new, though.
Focus on the movement that we're building.
Oh, they're talking about us?
They're building a mass movement that is united against the right wing, united against the billionaire agenda. And we don't have any room in our movement to get distracted by trolls who are trying to attack us. So please ignore them. Please do not engage with them. We have a security team if you're concerned.
They're talking about us. We're the trolls. They're saying we're taken away from the movement by talking about the movement. You mind if I ask? Actually, hey,
stand up, fight back!
What organization are you guys with? Do you mind if I ask?
Stand up, fight back!
Right on, man. Thanks for your time.
Stand up, fight back!
You got it. Is it indivisible?
Stand up, fight back!
What brought you out here today?
What do you think?
Anti-ICE demonstration. What are your thoughts about the ICE raids happening right now in New Orleans?
Well, isn't that obvious what I think about it?
A lot of people have varying degrees of thoughts on immigration raids, immigration enforcement, and all of that. Are you from New Orleans?
Part-time.
Part-time. Where are you from otherwise?
Europe.
Europe, right on. And then, are you American or European?
I'm European.
Okay. And you're here protesting immigration enforcement in the U.S.?
I'm protesting against what's happening in this country.
I'll be right back.
That divides the whole world.
Do you have a problem with them deporting people in the country illegally?
Yeah. No human is illegal. And it's racist.
So when it comes to, I guess this is educational for a lot of people watching, when it comes to your position, what do you think the punishment should be for entering the country illegally? Should there be no punishment at all? Anybody can come over the border.
As far as I'm concerned, everyone's welcome everywhere.
Everyone's welcome everywhere, yeah. Do you support any form of screening process at the southern border or anything like that?
No human is illegal.
Okay. So how do you prevent, let's say, a gang member, a terrorist, or something like that comes to the country? Do you support screening processes to try to eliminate that?
You asking me if I support terrorism?
Well, I'm talking about the logistics behind, like, screening who comes into the country, what comes into the country.
Well, we all got to fight against crime and against terrorism.
Just
but
deal
it's
with
an
it.
International thing.
Just deal with it when it comes into the country, though?
Yeah, wherever they are.
All right, everyone, let's take a few moments to talk about our friends over at Extra and the massive Christmas sale that they're having. Extra are known for inventing the first trackable smart wallet, but before we talk about their wallets, we gotta talk about their mission to upgrade your travel essentials too. The Travel Pack Vacuum Kit is a space-saving solution for travelers who want to pack more without bulking up their bags. I basically just travel with a duffel bag and a backpack, so I'm already loving this. You can compress over 15 items per vacuum pack and get 60% more space in your suitcase or backpack. Just use the portable USB-C rechargeable air pump that gives you 20 uses per full charge, and you're all set. The bag is made from super strong anti-rip nylon, and its waterproof anti-leak zippers protect your clothes from any spills. Now back to the wallets and card holders. This right here is the Extra Wallet Pro. It's half the size of a conventional wallet, but it carries over 12 cards and cash. It has Italian Vacetta leather, RFID blocking, and the coolest thing about this is you can access all your cards at the click of a button with their signature trigger mechanism. If you're in the market for a new wallet, this is a fantastic choice. Extra is having a Christmas sale with up to 54% off, but with my code James Klug, you'll get an additional 10% off, adding up to 64% off. Take advantage of this promotion, you guys. I will put a link down in the description below. Let's get back into this video. All right, Mexican flags are out.
Jamás será vencido.
How you doing? What was that?
¡Fuera! ¡Sáquenlo fuera! ¡Fuera de aquí! ¡Que te vayas fuera, mijo! Si no entiendes español, quítate de aquí. ¡Fuera! ¡Fuera!
Okay. What you say?
She said, if you don't speak Spanish, get out of here.
¡Sí, fuera!
If I don't speak Spanish, get out of here.
Fuera de mi cara, mijito. Quítate de aquí. Fuera de mi cara.
Okay. By the way, we found Miss Angela Rose. So, hi Angela. How's it going?
We're surrounded by sheep, hoping to herd them in a good direction.
We got her mic'd up. We'll see if she can jump in. Sir, do you mind if I ask you about your sign?
You should be speaking with Cecilia in the blue.
People keep saying this.
Yes.
I would like to hear your thoughts, not Cecilia's.
I really don't want to answer your questions.
In fact, how do you know that you're supposed to tell people who ask you questions to speak with Cecilia? Like, how come that's a thing?
Pardon?
How do you know to tell people to speak?
hope, because we were instructed to do that in the beginning. And if you've ever had any parts in any kind of organizing, that's important. Otherwise, you get mixed messages.
Yeah, so you're really good at following
Hey, look,
directions.
everybody's Angela Rose.
You're also European? You're here? Okay, and you're also protesting immigration enforcement in the U.S.?
Yeah.
Interesting dynamic here we got. Is this the first protest you guys have been to?
No.
No. And how'd you hear about the demonstration, the protest tonight?
What media are you from?
James Klug on YouTube. I have conversations. Me?
Media?
I'm more conservative, yeah.
You're more conservative?
Yeah.
Okay.
But I talk to anybody.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So what do you think about this dynamics here?
Well, first, we try to highlight like polite, good conversations, fact-based conversations, and just give people educational conversations to watch, at home. You said the question to me was, what do I think about it?
Yeah.
I don't. I mean, when it comes to what, like immigration enforcement, people being deported?
What they're doing here in the streets of New Orleans?
Do I have a problem with it? Like deporting people in the country illegally? In a general sense, no.
Okay.
But that's because it's against the law, and when you enforce those laws, you end up preventing people from coming. People don't even try to come into the country because they already know that it's being enforced. It's kind of like pulling people over for speeding, right? If you pull people over for speeding, they don't speed as often, So in a general sense, to answer your question, I don't have a problem with it.
Well, I have a problem that they pick up people off the street and raiding streets and getting people off the streets just based on how they look.
Well, on their immigration status would be why they would remove them from the streets.
These people don't understand that this is what happens when you have a president who gets on national television and tells the entire world to surge to the border. Those are the words he used. I didn't paraphrase. Joe Biden, and I quote, "Surge to the border. You're all welcome here." What do you think is going to happen? This lady's a moron. There's a reason she lives here and not back over in Europe.
Yeah, but you
Like my camera guy right here's, he's Hispanic, but he's not getting deported. You know what I mean?
No, but there are people.
I miss Joe. Jeffy,
that are
$5.
Americans that are being
Thanks, bud.
deported?
Yeah.
Can you name one?
I cannot name one because they keep it hush-hush, but you hear the stories about people not knowing where they are, and they're somewhere in Africa when they're from Asia or whatever.
Well, it's a really big claim. Do you think it is important that we are able to back up a big claim like that with at least one example or some facts? Because that's obviously a huge claim that you're making there.
You know how they operate like it. There's a war going on.
But did you hear what I said, though? Do you think before you say, maybe you could say, I think, instead of they are?
I think they are.
You think they are. And then the next question would be, okay, who, right?
No human is illegal, so...
Right. Bullshit.
Some people are not illegal.
Yeah, they are.
We really believe in borders, so that's...
You don't believe in borders?
Hey, you know what happens if you illegally go to China or Russia? How about North Korea? You know what they do in North Korea? They shoot you with an anti-tank round. That's like a big, huge war. How about Pakistan, Afghanistan, Uzbekistan, Turkmenistan? How about Iran, Iraq, Saudi Arabia, Jordan, Lebanon? How about Egypt, Sudan, Chad? Should I keep going? How many countries? Indonesia, Singapore. Singapore will kick your ass so bad they named a weapon after it. The Singapore cane. You get publicly lashed in Saudi Arabia, plus 100% prison. So I don't know what these people think. You could just, you know what they ought to do? They ought to take a couple of the illegal immigrants around with them. And when you find someone like this who just give this illegal immigrant, hello, this is Jose. Jose needs a place to stay. Since you're so willing to have all these people here, Jose is going to go home with you today. Have a good time. Here's Jose's medication. He has to take it twice a day or he has explosive diarrhea. Have a good time. The fuck? They want nobody's illegal. Everybody's welcome here, but not at my house.
How do you prevent bad people from coming into somebody's country?
Everybody's got to need a place to live, so
they can live with you.
Can live wherever they want.
They can live with you.
What about like, let's say, Tren de Aragua gang members? How do you, if you don't have a border, how do you stop those people from coming in?
They go to prison wherever they are in the country.
Oh, so we wait till they kill
break
people.
A law in a country instead of just preventing them from coming in the first place?
Yeah.
So, okay, we now have a team assigned to us, gentlemen. And they are shutting down conversations. This is not anything super
right, Miss MAGA, not in my backyard. NIMBY.
They're allowed to talk to us, so.
NIMBY. You know what NIMBY stands for, guys? NIMBY? Not in my backyard. That's a George Carlin thing. Miss MAGA and I are old, and so we collectively understand that George Carlin was ahead of his time on the separation of all the crazy people. I have a theory that George Carlin helped me with on how to solve this problem. You know, Miss MAGA, you're going to love this. I think that we ought to, some of you will not like this idea. And if you have a better idea on how to remedy this situation, I'd like to hear it. I think they ought to take a few places that connect to each other that are already kind of fucked up. Like, let's say they take California, Oregon, and Washington State. And they put up a big fucking wall on the East Coast, the border of all of those states, all the way up, all the way from Mexico, all the way to Canada, right? And so you get this big fucking wall, right? And in between the states, you have fences with little gates. You know where I'm going with this if you heard George Carlin before. So my idea is you move all the Republicans out. I know it's going to be a hard pill to swallow, but they're moving into like America. So you take California, Oregon, and Washington State, you fence or wall it off. You take all the liberal Democrats. You, like George Carlin said, you give them a couple $100 for their trouble. You move them all that are not already there, which most, the New York people will be pissed off, but you got to go. You move them all to California, Oregon, or Washington. They can call it what could they call it? New California. They could call it New California. AOC and Jasmine Crockett can be the queen and vice queen, and they can have the most weirdo, fucked up socialist paradise land that they could dream up. They can do whatever they want. And then in 5 to 10 years, when 80% of that population is no longer with us because they don't know how to fucking run anything, we'll just go and pick up the pieces. The few people that are left will probably be really happy to be rescued from that utopia. And then we'll take back the land. So it's sort of like we're gonna loan it. It's like, it's like your kid wants to move out. And you know that they're not ready to move out, and you know they're going to come back home, so you let them go and move out and fuck everything up on their own. So then you like teaching them a lesson. That's sort of the way how it would be. That's my big idea. You could call it the New California Stupid Zone. You could have Stupid Zone A, Stupid Zone B, and Stupid Zone C. And I mean, there's lots of ways you could add revenue with this. You could put cameras. You could put like live feeds, like George Carlin. You could have little gates that open up every once in a while, not to steal his bit, but I'm just saying that's a good idea. You have little gates that open up,
How you doing?
I'd stream that. I'd have to stream it on Rumble though. Look at this. Look at this moron here. Look at this guy. Why? I mean, it's bad enough when the women do it. Enough when it's a girl. And it's bad enough if it's one of these like weirdo soy boy, blue-haired, like Destiny white people, right? But when it's one of, somebody that has cool hair, He looks like a somewhat of a normal guy, and then you get to this, and then it ruins the whole thing.
Damn, you guys have like a massive amount of staff here. How many people is this? This is a lot. What's your guys' jobs? Not in real life, like here, I guess. Security?
And he's smoking cigarettes. That's gross. He's gonna die young.
Price of having a conversation, huh? We're working on a video. Do you mind if we ask you what brought you out here today? They're trying to. It's. You don't want to talk to him. You don't want to talk to him. Do you know who I am?
I have no idea.
No,
What
we
a
just have
tough
conversations. James
guy.
Blue on YouTube. You can check it out.
I'm trying to listen to it. Yeah,
No worries at all. He's a grown adult. He's allowed to make his own decisions, isn't he?
I just want to listen.
You got to speak for him? All right. Let's leave these tough.
You know how you fix that problem? You know how you fix that problem? Battery. Just like a 9-volt. You know what I mean? 9-volt. 9-volt battery right there. His night's over. His night's over.
Boys alone. Miss, do you mind if we ask you what brought you out here today?
No, usually they're not. Alan, I thought about that too, like a magnet, but I think usually body jewelry is made from like stainless steel, which is not magnetic, right? So, but I guess maybe some of them would be like actual steel, but most of it is like, some of it is like plastic too, or like nylon. But I think a battery though would give him a little excitement in his life, like a 9-volt to the nose, like a cattle prod. You know what I mean?
Trying to shut down. Yeah, you can't just block my motion, you retard. Excuse me.
Against imperialism.
Yeah, what you're doing right now is illegal. You gotta let me out.
And against Catahoula Crunch.
You gotta let me out, man. Back up.
Sterling silver. Yeah, sterling silver.
That's literally
something like that.
filming you
Yeah.
committing a
That's
crime.
not magnetic.
We have to stand.
You wanna have a quick conversation?
Oh, not stainless. Sterling silver. Okay.
To support people ice out of the town.
What do you not like that they're doing? Just deporting people?
Yeah, ripping apart families.
Anybody talking to right?
Why do they always like have like short guy cut hair and glasses like bigger than like half their face? I don't understand. It's like they have a uniform that they all wear. Like I can tell if a woman is liberal or conservative from across the street. And I got to be honest, I appreciate them identifying themselves so heavily. You get a blue-haired, big, huge, dumb glasses with a nose ring and short hair like my kind of short. I don't even have to talk to that person. I already know. They're a fucking idiot.
I'm sorry. Well, you post the conversation unedited. He doesn't know what we do.
No.
He's not denying it either.
You can come hang out with us. Okay. Come on.
Okay. So you asked me my view on
Ginger. Well,
the
it's easy. It's easier with the men because they're all wearing skirts.
You know, it's kind of
Or
interesting
like
you bring that up, just because
thigh highs
Eric
or
and I,
like a
on
dress
camera,
or something.
We've
Right?
documented a ton of the border crisis over the last 4 years. Even in Trump's first administration, that was a big thing that I talked about, researched. We've even been down at the border. He's been down way more than me, but for weeks at a time, right? And so what you see when it comes down to a border crisis is it's humanitarian crisis, right? You have children being trafficked, drugs, people, cartels have their hands on every single person coming across. If you go down there, you see kids, people with bracelets showing, how much they purchased, how much of it.
You know what I always thought was pretty ironic? The fact that they think that men should be able to compete in women's sports, but they can't define what a woman is. So how do they? These people, I don't think that there's any remedy. I don't see how you could take somebody who believes all this stuff and who is like brainwashed and take them and make them like think clear. They have their own set of facts. That's the problem. They think they're right. I don't know who, I think it's like these colleges are just brainwashing. They got these liberal professors, right? These, you have to understand, all these weak ass little kids, they go from being under mommy and daddy's umbrella in high school and middle school, and then they get pushed into these colleges, and then the only adult figure that they have to look up to is this fucking cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs liberal professor, and he brain rots their entire existence. It's horrible. It's horrible. They should be punished for what they're doing to our youth. It's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous.
They've spent, how much they've given the coyotes and all that stuff. So
that's why my daughter's not going to go to conventional college. I'm not paying for that
considering
shit.
the entire ecosystem
Fuck outta here.
surrounding
No
illegal
way.
immigration and the pros and cons of it. I think there's not a single pro to illegal immigration. And when it comes to enforcement, illegal crossings are down by over 95%. Isn't that bad for human traffickers? And the reason they're down is because people aren't coming here because what? Enforcement. It's actually being enforced. People are being removed that came into the country, broke into the country illegally, broke our laws, came into the country illegally. And so when you enforce those laws, just
Depends
like
on where you
law
live,
that
Kyle.
enforce, right?
It didn't start for
that
my kid
slows
in
that
elementary.
down. You have to
Elementary was
prevent
good
everything.
for
There's no perfect solution,
her
but
here.
you start pulling people over for speeding, what happens? Yeah, people stop speeding largely. There's still going to be people speeding, but still legal. There's going to be fewer. So my point is, 95% reduction in illegal crossings right now. The human trafficking crisis down at the southern border evaporated, and that's because of enforcement. So it's bad for the.
Hey, smash the like button,
Isn't that a
please.
good thing?
Subscribe to my channel.
I have a question of like, what do you think about that question? Bad for the human traffickers. Business is down by 95%. Good thing?
Specifically with human trafficking, that's something that I don't, that's something that's not good.
Did you watch my short about baby Barron Trump? Did you like that? Wasn't it cute?
That's what's happening. That's what happens down at the border. People don't get through the border without.
Did you like it?
Largely.
Oh, you're talking about exactly human trafficking, like even coming in, people that are willingly trying to
enter the country illegally.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and that's human trafficking as a term,
It's human trafficking. You're smuggling people across lines, state lines.
Understood, but people
country
are coming
lines.
through. I'm saying willingly one, and then also, yes, there's people that come in that are maybe doing bad things, but there's also people that come in that do, they're just trying to work. I'm in construction, so I'm a general contractor.
I totally understand.
So I know a lot of people.
I'm not. My position is certainly not that every single person coming across the country illegally is bad, but they are entering the country illegally. And if you don't want that crisis to exist, you need to enforce it. So when you ask me, hey, my thoughts on this, I think it's a great thing because the last 4 years we had the worst humanitarian crisis down at the southern border in American history. I don't know why anybody would be like, yes, this is great. No, come in legally. And we have laws for a reason. We needed to know who and what is coming across the border, right? It's this whole, when I say
I can solve the entire gender thing. I can solve the trans thing. I can solve the whole thing with one simple thing. And I said it yesterday. I'm going to say it again so the people who weren't here hear me. I'm serious. If they just do one small little tiny thing, the whole thing makes sense. How you identify and your gender and blah, blah, blah. If they just change how they feel about gender and the word they're using, gender, if they change that to, I'm being serious, this is not a joke. If they change that to personality, the whole thing makes sense. Oh, my personality is fluid. I can have multiple personalities, many different personalities I can adapt. I have the personality of a frog. Whatever, that's fine, that's cool. But you're not the gender of a frog. You have the personality of a frog. You have the personality of this. If they just change that one little tiny thing, the entire thing makes sense. That's my opinion. They're too wrapped up in words, aren't they? Well, I just want a safe place for me to get old in and for my daughter to grow up in and maybe have kids someday. And I just want a safe country. They want weirdo. Nobody's illegal. Everybody gets equal. I guarantee you, all the things they chant for, they can't have a 20-minute discussion. They say free Palestine, right? From the river to the sea. I bet you $100 that they don't know what river, what sea. They talk about gender. They talk about all this stuff. They have no idea what they're talking about. They're completely and totally clueless. They think Donald Trump is a king and a Nazi, yet he gets blocked at every turn by all these judges and governors and mayors. Everybody's marching through the streets, like basically calling for his head on a platter, but he's a king. Don't these people realize if Donald Trump was the fascist dictator king that they claim he is, they would not be allowed to do what they're doing? Don't they understand that their own heads would be on a stick already? I've never seen a king that would allow his kingdom to rise up against him. These people are fucking goofy as shit. They're the R word. They are. They're all the R word. I can't say it. It's against YouTube. It's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous that they want this weirdo. I just want a safe country.
Ecosystem. It's because there's so many. It's a little bit complicated, and I know you're a smart guy, so you'll get it. But you probably already do get a lot of it. But I do think a lot of people forget that all of these things are connected when it comes to enforcement evaporating the crisis, and as well as other policy decisions.
Oh, I like that, John.
Also,
mentally vacant.
If you were in somebody else's shoes of,
I'm gonna steal that from you, John.
In a country that
mentally vacant
isn't as safe and whatnot,
that's good.
And there's
I'm gonna use that in my video.
Space and some of the, the ways to even enter the U.S. It may take a lot of years or a lot of money that you may not have and whatnot. If you're in that moment, I'm just talking as more of a human, exactly. Of what would
if you're born in a fucked up country where your only options are to illegally travel to another country and put the burden of taking care of you on that country's taxpayers, my advice would simply to be, why don't you stay in your country and work together with your fellow countrymen and try to make your country better? If you were born in a fucked up situation, that is not my fault. That is not my responsibility. That's not my problem. I'm sorry that you were born in Pakistan or Uzbekistan or whatever stan or China or what the fuck ever. Sorry. You flipped the coin, it landed on the wrong one, okay? You should try to make your own. You know what? Let me tell you something. And this is the absolute truth. If I were to, let's say I were to decide to immigrate to China, I would never do that. But let's say I did. You know the first thing I would do? First thing, before I even went to China, there's several things that I would do to ensure that I had the best experience in China that I could possibly have. The first thing that I would do is learn. I don't care if I had to take 6 months of classes, a year of classes, it doesn't matter. I'll contact Xiao Ma myself. I would have to learn base level Mandarin. Ni hao ma. I'd have to learn how to say at least a little bit of something. There are people in our country who have been here for 30 fucking years and they cannot say, "Hi, how you doing? My name is Jose. What's your name?" But I'm supposed to be able to speak their language, right? They look at me like I'm stupid because I don't speak Spanish. But then when I do speak base level Spanish, ¿Cómo está usted? Mi amo es Climatics. They look at me like they're shocked. Like, how come you're in my country and I speak more of your language than you do of mine, but you've been here for 30 years and now you're surprised that you have to leave? So the first thing I would do is learn base level Mandarin. The second thing I would do is I would learn all the traditions and customs and things that I needed to know to live in China and not offend every single Chinese person that I come across. Like, for example, if you go to Japan, you don't wear your shoes into someone else's house. You don't spit on the street. And generally speaking, you try to cover your tattoos. Japan is a different ballgame. In China, they have their own rules and traditions and things that are going to be insulting. That, in some places, this is the same as this, And you got to be careful that you don't walk around doing this in a country where this is going to get your ass kicked. So I would learn a base level Mandarin. I would learn their customs and rules and how not to offend everybody. And the third thing, and the laws, right? The laws and things like that, how not to go to jail in China. The third thing I would learn is how their system works, how I pay my bills, how I turn on the hot water. It's not the same as America where you just turn on the faucet and you get hot water. Some of these places, you got to turn a little thing, push a button, and wait for 30 minutes. If you've ever been overseas, you know exactly what I'm talking about. So I would learn the ins and outs of their daily society. And these are things that I would do before I even moved there. These people are just running across the border. No English at all. They can't say, hey, how you doing? I'm Jose. Excuse me. I'm sorry. You have to fucking leave. And then they go, well, but this is a country of immigrants. No, bitch, it's not. No, you're wrong. It's not a country of immigrants. It's a country of settlers. Settlers are not the same thing as immigrants. Immigrants move to a new land and assimilate or adapt to a culture that's already established in that land. Settlers create a new civilization and life. And I had the settlers that came over from England. They created the society that we have. They didn't assimilate into one. So these people don't even know what they're talking about. Settlers and immigrants are completely different types of things. We're not on stolen land. We are on fucking conquered land. And if you want it back, come reconquer it. All the people all around the world, you think we're on stolen land, come take it back. It's real simple. You're big and bad, right? You're all tough guys, right? We're on stolen land. Oh, come take it back. There's a thing they used to say about America, and it has something to do with behind every blade of grass. That was what the Japanese talked about when they were asked why they didn't invade the continental United States, why they only went for Pearl Harbor, and why they didn't, because they knew that behind every blade of grass was a gun. That's why the first thing you do when you want to lock down a society and take it over is take away the ability for the people to fight back. That's why we have a Second Amendment. All these fucking clowns, they don't even know what they're fighting for. Seriously, everything I just said would make their brains explode because they don't even understand the fact that all that is a fact. None of that's my opinion. They're ridiculous. It makes no sense how they can walk around and be so brain dead as to think that socialism is the answer. I should teach my daughter she might be a boy and then take her to a drag show. I should open up the borders. We should defund the police. We should, all the crazy stuff that they want to do. Do they not have a history book? What the fuck? There was another time in history where the government took the people's weapons, and that was in Nazi Germany. You see how that worked out for them. For fuck's sakes, I'm stupid, and I know all this. So if I'm sitting here like a schmuck behind my screen at my house just by myself in front of my camera, right? And I know all this, how come all these educated, government people don't know this? My theory is they do know all this. They're just trying to line their own bank accounts. They're only concerned. If there's a reason that you spend $2 million, $5 million to get elected at a job that pays $150,000 a year. Why the fuck would you do that? Unless you're planning on stealing a lot more than that. Go look up how much Nancy Pelosi's salary has been each year. Go look up AOC's salary, Jasmine Crockett's salary, all these other people's salaries. Go look up Ilhan Omar's net worth when she started and look up her net worth now. Look up all these people's net worth before and after. There's a reason that they want to be in Congress and the Senate and the government, and it's not to help you. It's to help themselves. I think that this country is too far gone for a complete reconciliation, and we need to seriously consider having a national divorce. I will never ever sit down and break bread and be friends with someone who laughed at Charlie Kirk's murder. It's not going to happen. I'm probably going to fucking uppercut them. That's why I can't go down to ICE. I can't go to Portland. I could, but it's going to have to be for something positive, like a Patriot weekend where JD and all the Knicks are there and everybody's there. Then I might go and be a part of the group, but just to go and protest with Tommy, I'm gonna attack somebody. I'm very violent and I know myself, and I need to keep my ass out of the fucking harm's way. You know what I mean? That's the truth. I'm just trying to break up the video and the monotony and get ready for Trump being live again. When the White House goes live, if I miss it, you say something, okay?
If a country was not enforcing their border very well, I could just go in. It was easy. Would I go to get myself a better life, maybe my family? 100%, absolutely.
Oh, one more thing. Fun fact. I live in Al Green's district. You know that guy waving the cane at Trump, that old guy? I live in his district. And I put out an exploratory kind of thing. I was going to run against him. I was going to run against Al Green in his district here in Houston. And then he got redistricted and lost his seat. Damn it. I wanted to debate that old fool. I would make him cry. Actually, he'd want to kill me is what would happen. He'd send his goons to come kill me. I would make him look that big. I tried. Maybe I'll run for something at some point, guys. I'm still kind of young. I'm getting older, but I still look like this. So, I'm older than JD Vance. That makes me feel like I ain't done shit with my life.
Right. Absolutely. Why would I not take advantage of that? Just like, okay, well, all of a sudden, you no longer pull people over for speeding. 100% I'm going to speed. What are you talking about? That's awesome. You know?
I'm sorry for my rant. Sorry.
When it comes to no borders, when it comes to a country, at least
Miss Renee, I am. It's a work in progress.
To protect the American people.
It's a work. I'm working on it.
People, if you're not preventing a terrorist from coming.
I bought a bunch of stuff. It's coming.
Isn't that failing at them failing at doing their job?
Hey, Rumble. 30 people over on Rumble. Yay!
Just one world with people living.
It's Tommy's live. We're gonna recap it, okay?
Borders and we created bad
oh, he's not live now.
For people who live in poor countries.
2 hours. Okay, we're gonna recap Tommy later.
Circumstances for people who live in rich countries. Why are you so privileged? Why are you born? You were born in the USA. If you're born in poor Africa and you want to move to Europe.
Yeah, I don't know if it's quite like a random turnout quite like that, right? Millions of Americans have.
So wait. Because that's a perfect pause, right? So it's my responsibility. Hey, it's your responsibility too, Miss Renee and Teresa, Miss Maga, Svarter Brander, Lord Prank. What's up, Prank? It's all of your responsibilities to take care of random people around the world who are unfortunately born in a third world country. Did you know that, Ginger Shepherd? It's your responsibility to take care of your random person from Somalia or Pakistan who just, unfortunately for them, they were born into that kind of country. Did you know that you have to fuck up your life and put your own shit on hold to take care of them? I didn't realize that was part of the American dream. The American way of life. The American dream, guys. The new American dream is to take care of the entire fucking world and ignore, screw you and your life. No. We have to take care of the world. They were born into a third world country, guy. What are we going to do? Oh, what are we going to do to help them? I ain't doing shit. Why don't you help yourself? You know who helped me move? Nobody. You know who helped me get a house? Nobody. You know who'll help me set up my PC and make sure everything works and get my kid on the right bus? Nobody. You know who helped me transfer all my utilities and pay the movers and I had to buy a new water heater. That was $3,500. I had to do all this stuff. I had to have an electrician here yesterday to put me a new doorbell and a light in it. You know who helped me with all that? Nobody. We don't owe anybody you don't owe anybody shit. You don't owe me anything. You don't owe Jose anything. You don't owe Rashid anything. None of them. Nobody. You don't owe anybody anything. Period. If that's wrong, then I'll just be wrong. I don't mind being wrong.
Have fought and died for the freedoms that we have here. You know what I mean? So I don't know if it's just like totally random that it happened that way, right? You had geniuses that crafted the Constitution. You had millions of Americans that lost their lives fighting to preserve those rights. So it's not very random, is it?
Well, it used to be different, you know.
It's our big dog.
Not from here.
You talking to me?
Yeah. What's up? How you doing?
Doing very well. How are you?
Doing well. Happy to be out here tonight.
Good. Yeah, very good.
As long as you pass to
We have respectful conversations on YouTube.
Oh, okay.
Debates,
What
interviews,
channel?
whatever. James Blue.
California, where there's a lot of Asians.
If you'd like to have one, or are you just an agitator?
Oh, I love agitating. That is my favorite thing to do, actually.
No worries at all.
Yeah, proud union member, actually.
Very strong.
A proud union member?
Yeah,
Very cool.
love agitating.
Good for you.
Asian American comes from California.
Alrighty, but you don't want to have a respectful conversation, right?
No, not with you Nazis.
Yeah, why am I Nazi? Why am I Nazi?
Read your
You see my stuff? And what's your evidence for saying I'm a Nazi?
Stand on the shoulders of an incredibly brave activist.
What is a Nazi?
Even though I was not prepared for some nonsense tonight.
Do you know what a Nazi is?
I have to
Tell me
be
what it is.
brave. We have to be brave, and sometimes
You have no clue what a
we have to
Nazi
do
is, and you're
things
calling
that
people
are
like a
not
5-year-old.
Trying to listen, bro.
All right, man. Have a good one.
No Trump! No KKK! No racist USA! No Trump! No KKK! No racist USA!
The job of the U.S. government is to serve who?
American people.
Is that reasonable? And that's all different types of people, but those are the American people. And it just so turns out that there's a lot of issues in the country right now. We don't have our house in order, and I can't even believe that we're like entertaining the idea of letting people cut in line illegally before fixing a lot of these problems that we have. Keep in mind, there's people that are waiting to come into the country legally that are being cut in line. That's who you're talking about. You're talking about people that are taking advantage of it and cutting in line as well.
That's an interesting point. Yeah.
Interesting, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
But it's also if they're coming in and working like wholesome, you know, they're not breaking any like criminal activity, or they're just hardworking people here.
I totally see your point. I mean, this is where
in some instances.
Yeah. How do you know though? They came into the country illegally. What, we're just gonna guess and find out?
Yeah, I'll talk to them. I have like people that I like.
Love the rants.
this is
Jim
where
Joe,
it's
thank
kind
you,
of all
bud.
these
I'm sorry
things
for my
connected.
rant, guys. I'm sorry.
ICE
I get
raids,
going
deportations
and
are
I
connected
can't
to
stop
enforcement
myself.
down at the southern border.
My bad.
I don't want to live in a country, or I don't want to live in a country.
Tommy's gonna
where
go to
I don't
ICE
know
in a
who
little
or what is
while.
coming into
We're
my
gonna
country.
switch
You can
over
have
to
MS-13
Rumble
gang
for that,
members,
guys.
Nicaragua
We'll be
gang
live
members
with that
that come
later.
in.
Full
If you're a family man,
sound
you're gonna be a
on,
family man.
no
Would you
interruptions,
want-
no
you
muting
wanna
on
know
Rumble, guys.
Who's around you? Who's in your country? And the government.
It's gonna be a little later though, a little while, a little
It's
while.
not a. They can all.
We're
come
waiting
in
for the
and we
White House
find
to
out
go live
later
again.
When people die.
If the White House
That's not a
goes
way to
live,
protect the
hey,
American people. That's not good policy.
do me a favor. I need your help, guys. If the White House goes live and I'm missing it, you let me know, okay? Hey, Ramsey, I think we're going to try to do like a Saturday morning gaming stream, or like Saturday afternoon, early afternoon gaming stream. Once you write me a private message, Ramsey, and let me know when you're available and when you like to play, because I think that would be a cool thing to do on like a chill Saturday or Sunday afternoon. You know? We could talk about it offline, Ramsey. Just message me on Discord or something.
That's kind of insane. You know what I mean? But I see your point. And you're right. There are a lot of good people. But at the same time, when it comes down to it, what's connected to this is, again, human trafficking. So people that are coming in illegally, they're paying cartels, they're enriching cartels. That's a problem.
Okay, cool.
It also
cool,
opens
Ramsey.
up child trafficking. Over the last 4 years, there's 400,000 unaccompanied minors that showed up at the southern border. That's not good. You do not want these kids in the hands of cartels
Thank you,
and
Debbie.
coyotes. Bad things happen. I can tell you a million stories. Okay?
Oh, he's live?
and I'm just brushing the surface here, but I also want to include, you're talking about people hardworking. They're a net tax negative of at least $150 billion per year, according to FAIR, Federation for American Immigration Reform. There's even higher estimates, and that's as of 2022. It's way higher right now because there's way more people that came in illegally. I mean, tabling the fact that it's illegal to enter in the first place, tabling the fact that not enforcing immigration law helps facilitate humanitarian crisis at the border, like tabling all of those crazy things, enriching the cartels, whatever it may be, overflowing classrooms. Our classrooms are already a mess.
I don't know if it's going to be live on...
Bringing in 400,000 unaccompanied minors. Do we have schools for those people? Of course we don't. That's like you would have to build 50 school districts to handle that amount of kids. So we're already talking about just overloading the entire system. And then also, they're a net tax negative as well because they don't pay more than they bring in.
What about...
I'm like winded. I'm ranting too much.
No, you're good. Like, honestly, I am in support of this, but like I feel like I don't know a whole lot about it, so it's good to like learn, from somebody that has some
Rebby, I'm looking for it, Rebby. Hold on.
I'm gonna pause you right there. You guys, this is a perfect example of somebody being curious. Look, he doesn't have to agree with me, and that's totally fine. But he is curious first and foremost, and that leads you to the truth, and that actually educates you the most. He can say, okay, well, James told me this. I'm gonna go look into that. Maybe I disagree with something here and there, but ultimately, his curiosity is making him more educated. And I'm not saying I'm like right about everything, but this is how you get there. This is how you get to the truth. So I appreciate your time, man. And where are you guys from?
The Netherlands.
Netherlands. We don't own the Netherlands. Netherlands doesn't own us or something like that. So like, it is a country is their people, and by definition, they have a border. But
yep,
that's
I'm looking at the White House page.
How would you like to go about eliminating borders?
I know it's naive, and I know it's maybe not possible now.
Okay, that's 7:15 our time. Okay. We still have a few minutes before they're live. I'm monitoring it.
So if you're in poor Africa, you go to Europe, and we push you out. We say you go back, or you drown in the Mediterranean. That's not fair. He's as human as I am.
Doesn't the U.S. government, the purpose that it serves is to improve the life of its citizens? Your country's government.
You've got a responsibility worldwide.
We have a responsibility for everybody.
Everybody has a responsibility for their neighbors, for the people that
live
among them.
She's wrong. I don't have a responsibility to pay my neighbor's rent. What the fuck?
Do you think this is a realistic position to hold today?
No, absolutely not.
So are we dealing with, is this sort of a utopian argument or position that we have here?
Well, I don't believe in that anybody should be richer than anybody else. So everybody should have the same means of existence, and millionaires shouldn't be here because it's not fair. I'm naive. I believe in everybody's got the same rights, and everybody should be able to live wherever they want, and I don't believe in borders. That's it.
Well, hopefully we don't have the same rights as places like in Iran,
Well, Iran, they're very...
Like, I don't want their rights.
No, but
I like my rights. Yeah. I think my rights are better, but it's a different.
Iran,
Rebby, I can't restream right side. They're really strict on content violations and stuff, and like sharing their shit. I have that permission.
And his wife as well.
They won't give me permission. I've asked.
So you cannot simply.
They told me no.
You can't judge like maybe some Middle Eastern cultures where it's like okay to beat your wife. You want to judge those?
Yeah, I do. But that's why I say everybody should have the same rights. Women, men.
Yeah. Do you want the same women's rights as they have in Iran? I'll pronounce it properly.
But, it will even out when everybody influences everybody. But when you
so you don't want everybody to have their rights though. Whose rights do we want to share across the board?
Everybody should have the same rights.
They gotta pick and choose what rights they want.
Just a side note, like a lot of the activism work I did in college was undermined because I was a lot more clashy, and I closed a lot of doors to like one, understanding even more in depth if I did support something or not, but also how to work with same people that may disagree with me, but they're still within my community. Like, how do you form solutions and understandings and even, pathways forward?
Dude, the craziest thing about a lot of this is illegal immigration. It's been abused for a long time, and again, there are good people waiting to get in line into the United States. We grant about a little bit less than 1 million green cards per year.
I have the White House up on my
but
other.
What you saw over the last 4 years.
I'm
I'll repeat
watching.
it again. The worst border crisis in American history, okay? And I think maybe 30 years ago, a lot of people treated it
like
as
the
sort
stream.
of a, oh, you
Let
snuck
everybody
in?
know
All
we're
right, well, hey,
live.
good luck. These
Share it
immigration
if you don't
enforcement
mind.
would happen, but like ultimately, good luck. You beat the system. You got in. Well, that's not what we saw over the last 4 years. We saw well over 10 million people coming in illegally over the span of 4 years. That is way out of control. Okay, so what you're seeing under this administration is a reaction. The moderate position is deporting as many.
That's a good point. Who said that? Janorian? So back in the 80s and 90s, people used to come to our country and become Americans. They couldn't wait to put on an American flag shirt and a hat and go to a Yankees game. They were so excited. I remember going to people's naturalization ceremonies where it was like a big celebration. Like they were in tears. One guy was like bawling his eyes out. He was so happy. Now they come over here and bring their third world bullshit to us. They do this all the time. Now they don't come over here and assimilate. They come over here and leech and like act like a locust and suck our resources dry and then go back home to their country. They don't want to be Americans anymore. They just want what America offers them to take back to their country. That's not my responsibility. If you were born in a third world, I suggest you work hard to try to fix your own fucking country and stop coming over and trying to fuck my country up like yours is fucked up. I don't understand. Honestly, I get it's religious freedom and all that stuff, but I don't get why you would live in an oppressive society like Afghanistan or Pakistan or Iran or one of these places where the women are all burqa'd up and they have this whole hijab on, and you come here and you live in, like I live in Texas. Like you come and you moved to fucking Texas from Afghanistan. You made it. Congratulations. You made it from Afghanistan, where girls aren't even allowed to go to school, and you made it to Texas, and you still wear a hijab or a burqa. I cannot wrap my head around that. Why you would go to all the trouble to move to a place like this and still be oppressed like that. I wonder what goes on inside those homes. They seem all nice and friendly out in the open, but what happens when that door closes? Is there Sharia law inside that home? I mean, I'm an American. Our women wear bikinis in the summer. Here at Climatics TV, everyone, we are pro bikini, and our women are beautiful, and they like to show it off, and I am a fan of it, and that shit ain't ever going away. I'm sorry, but we are pro bikini. Okay, hello, how are you? All right.
People as we brought in over the last 4 years. That is the moderate position. You can't just create a humanitarian crisis and say, you're not allowed to clean it up now. But I think what you're bringing up is really interesting, and I think we'd probably agree on a lot of that stuff for sure. But hey.
If that puts you, hi, Polly, if bikinis put you in a situation where you can't control yourself and it puts you in like a certain mood, guess whose problem that is? It's not the woman in the bikini, it's you. So I would suggest you try to control yourself a little bit better, you know? Polly, did you have a good day? How's the weather over in beautiful Minnesota? Or as I should call it, New Somalia. How's New Somalia today, Polly? Is it good?
Good. Did I help in any way, or did you feel like I was? How was it? How was it? Huh?
It's helpful again, it kind of helped me understand where I'm really at, and I came here to learn, whether that be hopefully by people that are around, but to listen.
Well, I appreciate you talking with me, and I hope you felt like it was a good conversation. I'm James again. All right, everyone, that is it for today. So a pretty difficult bunch to talk to here in New Orleans, but I don't know. I mean, maybe we're just...
New Orleans, right near me. It's not just happening in these liberal hellholes. It's happening in the South too. That's why I wanted to show this. Now, we can watch a teaspoon video. There's a few things here. We got the White House here. Refresh. We'll be live again shortly. We're working on all that. We got Tommy's stream up here from earlier. We can't really play that right now, but Tommy's gonna go to. I just texted Tommy, guys, because when you're watching my stream, you know that I'm gonna have a direct line to these guys and make sure that I'm on top of everything, right? We got a few more things we can watch in the meantime. As soon as the White House goes live with President Trump's speech from the Congressional Ball, we're gonna flip over to that. Okay. For the meantime, though, let's get, since we just watched that James Klug on Louisiana, I thought it would be appropriate to watch a T-Sply video on the same kind of area and the same sort of subject.
Bavino says in the first week they've arrested about 150 illegal migrants under Operation Catahoula Crunch.
Okay, so Operation Catahoula Crunch is really becoming a very successful mission for Border Patrol down in Louisiana. I mean, there's hardly any pushback from protesters or local leaders. We're not really seeing the tear gas, we're not seeing pepper balls, and there are many illegal immigrants being arrested. So the question is, why is this operation going so smoothly compared to the other operations?
And more than 20 law enforcement agencies, like you mentioned, across the state, including Louisiana State Police, are working with Border Patrol and supporting their immigration enforcement efforts.
So it turns out we have a lot of different police forces backing up Homeland Security as far as Operation Catahoula Crunch. But as I make this video, the New Orleans Police Department and the New Orleans City Council, New Orleans leadership, they're still not on board. That's fine, because now we're seeing operations in Baton Rouge. Remember, we've never seen something like this, where Border Patrol hops into a new area of the country and then we just see what happens. What we're seeing with this operation seems to be very successful for the Trump administration. Work with the partnerships in the area to conduct the operation and get the job done. Despite New Orleans not wanting to work with the Trump administration with Border Patrol, that's fine, because the mission continues and protesters are having a very hard time, or advocates against ICE are having a very hard time even keeping up with Border Patrol. Now, protesters are still pushing back, but they're pushing back in a different way. I'm about to show you that. But before we start the video, make sure to please like the video. It's the #1 way you guys are helping this channel, and it also helps others see the videos as well. And I think people want to see what's going on with this operation, because it's not being reported too much in the mainstream media, and I don't want you guys to miss a thing. So make sure to please like the video and share it so people can see what's going on.
Yeah, Trevor, Sella advocates, educators, practitioners, and faith leaders all showed up in droves, and they waited for hours to voice their concerns about how Catahoula Crunch is impacting the people of Jefferson Parish.
Canner, hear us loud and clear. Immigrants are welcome here. Canner, hear us loud and clear.
A week into Catahoula Crunch, people are bringing their thoughts and concerns to Jefferson Parish Council.
Unless, we make it clear on every level possible that they're not welcome here, I think the damage is going to compound.
Okay, so here's the reality of the situation. Protesters involved with Catahoula Crunch who want to try and stop Border Patrol, their hands are quite literally tied behind their back, because you have the Louisiana State Police, you have sheriffs, and you have a ton of cooperation with Border Patrol, which means if you want to be an ICE tracker and you want to follow ICE agents, you have to now deal with the federal government and the state government. So what we're seeing are protesters are just going to city council meetings with cities who are cooperating with Homeland Security, which is why we are not really seeing any protesters advance on Homeland Security agents in situations like this. Now, this occurred in Baton Rouge, Louisiana.
No, yo tengo papeles, no sé por qué tú estás hablando, hijo.
Deme identificación. Siéntese aquí.
How are they gonna sit on the fucking mud?
Okay. You walk away, please. No problem. Come on.
I'm gonna walk away. This is my fucking. I belong here, man.
Yeah, sir. If you're filming, you probably do, but I'll talk with you in a minute.
All right, that's cool.
He's got a card he's going to show you.
Just back off. You can film, just back off. Huh? ¿A quién? ¿A tuyo? ¿A tuyo? ¿Por el phone?
Facial photos.
I'm just translating. Yeah, I'm using.
Oh, trumpet. I like your name. I play trumpet. Let's see. I got one right there.
So if you are familiar with clips like this and how these operations go down, typically you will always hear whistles, you will hear honking of the horns, you will hear people screaming, sometimes people show up with signs, and a lot of times this has to do with rapid response teams. Whenever something like this goes down, a Homeland Security operation, rapid response gets notified and people show up within minutes. But as we're seeing in a lot of these different clips within Louisiana, this is not happening. And look, I'm just trying to show you guys some evidence. It could be because there is cooperation with Homeland Security. And having cooperation with Homeland Security on all different levels, from city councilors, mayors, with the local police, it's very difficult for protesters to get involved here and try to interrupt this operation. Now, super quick, before we continue, make sure to please subscribe to my channel so I can keep you up to date with this story and others just like it. We are always covering all of the different federal operations throughout the United States, and I want to make sure
subscribe
you are kept
to
up to
T-Sply.
date. Thank you guys so much, and let's continue. Now, this also happened.
Hey, fun fact. It stands for the supply guy. Bet you didn't know that. Fun fact. The supply guy. I call him Teaspoon, though.
In Baton Rouge, and again, you'll notice nobody's getting in the way.
His kryptonite
no honking,
in the
no
background.
whistles, nothing.
I like that. That's cool. He's real close to the kryptonite, too. He's definitely not Clark Kent. This is what you get. This is all Joe Biden's fault. Surge to the border. What the fuck did you think was going to happen?
Okay, so leave your comments down below how you feel about this. Again, on my channel, we really try to analyze all of these different federal operations, and if you are subscribed to my channel, and make sure to please subscribe, you'll notice when we talk about Chicago, the whistles, the
please
honking,
subscribe to
the
my
clashing,
channel too.
We know that's probably going to happen. That'll probably happen in Oregon. That'll probably happen in Minnesota. Right now, we're not seeing any of this at all.
As they've received unprecedented support here from those local law enforcement agencies and also local leaders, which, as you know, this is really night and day from what we've seen in blue cities. So
okay, this is very crucial. I want you guys to remember this. I would not be surprised if the Trump administration uses this operation to show everyone, if you cooperate with Homeland Security, we can make your state safer. Instead of demonizing federal agents, instead of governors and city councils trying to stop Homeland Security, as you can see in this operation, it is working. When we all work together, we can find the criminals. I would not be surprised if the Trump administration
That's a funny
uses this
place to
operation
pause it there,
to show
Teaspoon.
everybody it works, because the Trump administration did that, and they're doing it in Memphis, and they're doing that with Washington, D.C. You'll notice we don't hear too much about those operations because it's working, and we're not hearing too much about this operation because it's working.
Bavino says in the first week they've arrested about 150 illegal migrants under Operation Catahoula Crunch, and more than 20 law enforcement agencies, like you mentioned, across the state, including Louisiana State Police, are working with Border Patrol and supporting their immigration enforcement efforts. We even saw community support. An illegal migrant bolted after a traffic stop, ditched this car, and ran into a neighborhood near a school, sparking a manhunt. Neighbors pitched in, they checked their backyards, even showed off some Southern hospitality and offered agents gumbo. Chief Bavino says agents are able to focus on making arrests because of support from law enforcement.
This is massive, and this right here, we can make a direct correlation as to what was happening in Portland. Federal agents in Portland have literally been begging the local police, can you please work with us? We've even called you guys to come down and help us with all of the clashing and the protesters. And what was happening was a lot of federal resources have been sent to the Portland Federal Building, not to conduct deportation operations, but to conduct security
it's my whole
operations.
channel.
So over in Portland, you had ICE agents who were trying to defend a Portland building, and that's not their job. Their job is to conduct deportation operations. So this right here is crucial. Again, when local security forces work with federal agents get to do their job. And I also want you guys to think about this. That means your taxpayer money, because we're paying for this, actually is being put to good use, finding criminals who are not supposed to be here.
You know, if you look at places like California, that's Governor Newsom, Chicago, that's Governor Pritzker, Mayor Johnson, and then in North Carolina, Governor Steen. They said some very vile and contemptible things about the Border Patrol, about ICE agents, and our allied law enforcement teams. And what that does is that empowers their weaker-minded constituents to perhaps take up violence against us when normally, otherwise, they wouldn't do that.
In a video shared by Vice President J.D. Vance on X, one construction company owner says he's seeing a difference ever since Border Patrol has been in Louisiana.
Now, this is the hardest part for the Trump administration. I am not denying that these different locations within sanctuary
I think we're going to have to come back to well, hold on.
cities are creating
the White
this
House is
culture
live.
of violence against Homeland Security, but the Trump
We're
administration
waiting.
has
We're
to
waiting.
prove
The
that.
White House
and the
is
only
live,
way they
ladies
can
and
prove
gentlemen.
that is by going to areas that are not sanctuary status and areas that cooperate with the Trump administration and then show the data themselves. And that's what they're trying to achieve with these federal operations. Look, you see, we're down in Louisiana. There is some pushback, but look at all of the cooperation.
All right, we're going to try to
Everything is
finish
going
this
smoothly.
teaspoon.
There's no tear gas. There's no pepper balls. But then look, when we go to Chicago, it's quite the opposite. And the only way for the Trump administration to win this narrative war and try to prove to everyone that the reason why federal agents are getting attacked and the reason why federal agents are getting so much pushback, the only way the Trump administration can prove that is by having success in territories of the country where there's no pushback. There's cooperation. So look, that's why we cover these stories and we compare all of the different federal operations. The Trump administration, in my personal opinion, they are winning this narrative war. When you look at the polls and you look at the support overall for deportations and not wanting crime in the country, but the Trump administration, they have to actually put this into practice and go to territories in the United States to prove to the American people they can get the job done as long as there's cooperation.
WDSU reporter Lissa Gomez live in New Orleans as all eyes are on social media on both sides of the aisle.
Mom Tulani. Mom Tulani, I can't stay up that late.
Monitoring online platforms, and while some advocates
I wake up at 5, so I can't stay up till 4.
Others are encouraging people to keep posting and organizing online. What are you doing? An immigration crackdown in the digital age means boots on the ground includes eyes on the web.
Whatever you put on a social media platform, you know you don't have an expectation of privacy. But precisely you do it so people know where the ICE people are.
So this is something I have noticed about a lot of my investigations. It's actually a lot easier than you think. You just have to know where to look in order to conduct these investigations and get the full perspective on a story. This is because a lot of these organizations or protesters, they're either getting donations or they're getting support through mutual aid or they're getting private support. And the only way you can really do that is if you post what's going on, or you have to post somewhere that, hey, I need people to show up to this one certain location because ICE is here. And this means you're putting it out in the public, and this means ICE is watching what's going on 24/7. We know this to be true because more and more people are actually getting charged for what they're posting on the internet, because when you look at the police reports of protesters who are being accused of violence, oftentimes in the evidence report, they will cite different types of things you were posting, either TikToks, Facebook, live streams. They will show the evidence from months of posting. So ICE is watching everything. You just have to assume they're watching everything, and we know they are.
Loyola University law professor Maria Pabon says advocacy groups have turned to social media platforms to alert others where federal agents are operating. There are also resources for Know Your Rights information.
Okay, this website right here is quite literally the mayor-elect's website. You can even see right here at the top of the page.
And organizing protests.
They didn't throw that into the news story, though.
According to the Associated Press, federal agents are now also monitoring these platforms.
This is about humanity.
Sarah Whittington of the ACLU says this tactic isn't surprising.
I think it's surveillance. I think we've seen it in other cities as well, the way that they've used both technology, the internet, and, all of the vast tools at their disposal to...
So you guys can leave your comments down below if you would classify this as surveillance. I think it might shock some of you to find out that there are group pages of over 100,000 people, and they just post the locations of Homeland Security agents. I mean, not too long ago, I'm sure you heard about this, the Attorney General literally said, hey, Facebook, we're going to have problems if we keep finding these huge pages just leaking the information of agents.
Sort of see where people are and what they're doing. And I think, honestly... right now, we're on the right side of history.
Reports say Border Patrol is searching online to detect any potential threats to their agents and gauge the public's reaction to Operation Catahoula Crunch.
This right here, I do agree with. The Trump administration is notorious for being reactive to how the people react. I mean, that's how politics work. And the reason why we know this is because you guys remember the Trump administration said, hey, you know what? We might start to leave the farmers alone. Even though a lot of them are illegal immigrants, maybe we can find out a way to, get some paperwork going. And the outcry was, no, we want deportations. And President Trump never talked about it ever again. So without a doubt, this has to be true. The Trump administration pays attention to everything.
Advocates think otherwise.
I think these groups that are being monitored, from what I understand, are community groups that the most they have are whistles and maybe pots and pans, So I don't know that that's a danger, right? And that's, in my book at least, protected free speech.
The idea that they are trying to gauge the community's response from social media seems extremely disingenuous.
WDSU contacted Border Patrol to ask exactly what they're monitoring and why. We were told they do not comment on investigative means and methods.
Yeah. But what we do know is that Homeland Security did talk about hiring investigators for social media. So everyone knows this is happening. And again, we also know this because on my own channel, we have...
Hey guys, like and subscribe to Teaspoon T-Sply right after you like and subscribe to me. Check it out. I don't want to miss anything. This is live. We're going to go to President Trump remarks at the congressional ball. I have no idea how long this is going to be. The White House is live. I do not want to miss 1 second of it. I'm going to take a quick bio break and get myself a new drink and all that stuff I need to do. And we're going to wait for this to start. It's live, so it'll just click over as soon as it's ready to go. I'll turn the volume up. Wait, I want to make sure the volume is good.
I've literally seen people...
Okay, the volume on that's good. The volume on this is going to be good. It'll be fine, okay? That way we won't miss a beat of it. We won't miss even a single little thing. Although I do like doing the spaces, I gotta be honest with you. There's certain people in certain parts of the spaces that I'm just not a fan of. I think that certain people don't respect other people's time. So let me take my quick break,
ladies and gentlemen.
And then this is gonna start. I'll be right back.
First Lady Melania Trump.
No, this music is fine. This is the President's March. It's not that kind of copyright. Chris, the music is fine. I just can't play Lee Greenwood. You know what I mean? Good call though. Good looking out for me. I appreciate that. This might be 5-10 minutes, but knowing Trump, it's going to be probably an hour. You know, he was on fire the other night. Did y'all catch his speech the other night? You can go back and watch it on the VOD. His speech the other night was, holy crap. It was like a campaign speech all over again. It was amazing. Here we go. Oh, Tuxedo Don.
Everybody.
I'm gonna be quiet.
What a nice group of Democrats. We do. We have a lot of Democrats, and we welcome you. Honestly, we do. And I think we're going to start working together in healthcare. I really predict that. How are you? Boy, I see some very friendly faces. I see some faces that are friendly, but they could be friendlier. But I think we're going to do great, and we've got a lot of good things to happen. We know our First Lady, she worked so hard on making this so beautiful. And the decorations, she's been given wonderful reviews for the trees and all of the Christmas decorations, so thank you very much. Great job. So we have a very special Congresswoman with us, Julia Letlow. Where is Julia? And it was just announced, and in fact I just heard that she went to the dip room where she officially announced with a very handsome man her engagement. Okay, where is Julia? Julia, where are you? Come on up. Julia, that's a big deal. Come on, Julia, let's go, Julia. That's a big deal.
Thank you, Amy. I appreciate that a lot.
That transcends politics. Look at Julia. Oh, he's so lucky.
That's cool. What kind of company, Amy? Tell everybody what kind of company you got. It's cool. Go ahead. You have my permission.
Congratulations, brother. Let me see that ring. Oh, that's a nice ring. That's fantastic. You want to say something?
Oh, no, sir. Well,
Yeah, go ahead.
thank you so much to the best president of my entire life, the entire United States of America. Thank you.
Thank you. Got a great woman. He's got a great woman. It's a fantastic couple. Thank you very much. So I want to just welcome everybody to the White House. It's a very special tradition. And it's interesting because all other times, oh, look, I have my favorite congressman. How are you, Congressman? You know, it's very interesting because all other Christmas occasions, everyone's quiet. When they're all politicians in the room, they talk right through a speech, and that's okay. I don't mind that. But I want to welcome you all to the
rude.
White House. It's an honor to have you. It's a
These
special
Democrats
place.
are pieces of
You know, for
shit.
150 years, they've been trying to do a ballroom. They never got it up, but we got it off. And in a very short period of time, like about a year and a half, you're going to have the best ballroom anywhere in the country. Anywhere, it is special, and they're going to be able to. We'll be able to host this in a larger setting. However, it won't be the same. So I think we'll keep this the same way. But we really did. We had a fantastic turnout. We had 12 different parties, and they asked me to go to speak at every party, and I did. I spoke at every single party. Then they announced, because of the fact that they have so many people, it's 11 people to turn down for everyone that makes it. So it's a very good feeling. But I did 11. Then they said, sir, would you do 2 more? I did 2 more. And I said, did Biden do this too? I don't think so. I would love it if he did. It would have been very interesting. But we have a lot of things happening. We have a congressional ball. We have so many different, but what we're really here to celebrate is Christmas. So I want to wish everybody a very Merry Christmas, a very Happy New Year, Happy Hanukkah. Whatever it may be, it's going to be happy, and we're going to have a fantastic year. We have a fantastic year coming up. You know, never in our country have we had investment like has taken place over the last 10 months. We have $18 trillion plus already, and I think by the end of the year it'll be over $20 trillion. That's more than any nation anywhere in the world at any time by quadruple. In the previous administration, just to give you a little fact, not to be hostile, but they had less than $1 trillion over 4 years. So we have 18, I think we'll have 20, but we have 18 over 10 months. So that's some number. And with that automatically comes jobs. And today, for the 52nd day, we hit an all-time stock market high. And that's great. And that means 401ks, that means a lot of things are happening. It means jobs. And I think when the real numbers start coming out and when the real pollsters start doing the polls, I think you're going to see some really fantastic numbers, and that's good for Republicans, frankly, and Democrats. I want to, again, thank our First Lady for working so hard on this. She's done so well. It's the, let's see, she's done it 4 times. This would be the 5th time. And I would say this is the best, although I like the red trees. She got criticized for the red trees. Then I liked the white trees, and she was criticized for the white trees. Then I liked the green trees, and she got criticized, and she went back to green, and they love it. So I don't know what's going on. I think this is a little bit of a different administration maybe than the first. But I want to thank all of the great people in the room, both Democrat and Republican, who work so hard on behalf of our great nation. You're members of the greatest legislative body in the history of our country, history of the world, really. And we have the greatest nation anywhere in the world, and it's getting stronger, bigger, better. And I just want to thank you, because sometimes we don't work together, but we come up with great ideas together, and that is true. So tonight, we're going to set aside all political differences. We're not going to criticize each other. We're going to love each other. And we're going to come together not as Democrats and Republicans, but as fellow Americans to give thanks for this nation, which is so great indeed. And it's a tremendous, I think it's a tremendous tribute that, I think it really is. I think it's a tremendous tribute that so many Democrats have joined us tonight. High level. I know almost every single name on the list. It's a very impressive list, too, I must say. But let me also say a very special thanks to all of the spouses and loved ones here tonight. You make incredible sacrifices for us as politicians. I call myself now a politician. I never thought that was going to happen. I never thought that was going to happen, but it happened. But none of what we absolutely do, whatever, would be possible without you. And I want to thank my great wife, my great First Lady,
Hi, Kelly.
for helping me. But every single one of you have been helped by your spouse. I want to also thank our really wonderful, great Vice President J.D. Vance, who's here. J.D., thank you. And Second Lady Usha Vance. Usha, thank you very much. Thank you, Usha. Also a man that a few of you might know, not very well, but you might know him. Speaker of the House, Mike Johnson. Where's Mike? What a great job you're doing. What a great job. And most importantly, you have a wonderful, beautiful wife. Thank you very much. Say hello to the boys, okay? It's great to have you both. It's not easy to manage with a majority of 3. But we've been up to 7, and we sort of veer back and forth. But he's done a job, and he gets along very well with the Democrats. Sometimes I would say he gets along too well. That bothers me. We also have Senate Majority Leader John Thune here. Where's John? Where is John? One of the really good, he's a good, thank you. Oh, wow, look at him. See, he always gives the best location to others. Thank you, John. Thank you for everything. You've done a great job. It's not easy, John. It's not easy. Thank you very much. House Majority Leader Steve Scalise. Where is Steve? Where is Steve, Mr. Speaker? I'll tell you what, I always say he's got great courage because he got hit real hard. He got hit harder than I got hit. I got hit too, but I got a little, I have a throbbing feeling. He had much more than a throbbing feeling. In fact, I went to the hospital and they actually thought he wasn't going to make it. His wife was devastated. She was crying. I tell the story. I found out that night you have a wife that loves you dearly. I know many wives would not even be crying. But your wife was absolutely a mess. She was crying. She was inconsolable, Steve. So we found that out, but he made it. And then he went about 4 months later. He could barely walk. He went and he played second base in the game between between you people, right? Republicans and Democrats. He could barely walk. He could barely stand. He was not going to be the great Bobby Richardson, all-star second baseman of the New York Yankees for 15 years. And this could only happen by God. A shot was hit to him so hard, I said, oh no. And it went right at him. He fell to his knees, which was his only option because he couldn't bend. This was not a good-looking picture. He knocked down the ball, picked it up, could barely grab it, threw it to first base. The runner, who was actually a very good Democrat athlete, was out. And I said and I've told this, that was a miracle. That was a miracle. And then brilliantly, after one hitter, the manager took him out of the game because there was no way that he was going to outdo that one. So, Steve, it's great that you're here, and we love you, Steve, and you went through a lot. Majority Whip, Tom Emmer, a fantastic guy with a fantastic spouse. Where is Tom? Tom is a great guy. I don't know what you're going to do about Minnesota. Where? Oh, well, there he is. He's a handsome devil, isn't he? With an unbelievable wife who puts up with a lot of stuff. She does not have an easy job, Tom. You are a difficult man. And Tom is very friendly with the Somalians. You know, he's doing a great job. He's a big fan. He's a big fan of Somalia. Anyway, he said, please correct that. Anyway, thank you, Tom, very much. Thank you. He's a great guy. He's done a fantastic job, and we really appreciate it. And you have so many members of the House and the Senate, but I just want to thank a few of them, and I do mean it. I think it's fantastic that we're all here together tonight. We have cabinet members, and we have Marco is here, Scott Bessent is here. We got them all sort of here, every single one. I won't call them out because they're not names that are going to get huge applause from this very substantially Democrat audience. But you know what? They're working toward making America great again. It's very simple. We are making America great again. I saw it today on a somewhat leftish broadcast. They were saying, you know, whether you like it or not, these numbers are starting to get very good, and they are, and that's good for all of us. But during the season of joy and peace, we have so much to celebrate as a nation, because 1 year ago, we were a country that was in serious trouble. There were those that say we were a country that was really not going to make it, and they were saying we were not going to make it. Now we have the hottest country anywhere in the world. They're all saying it. Other leaders are saying it. The European nations are saying it. The European nations are reporting that your president might as well be the leader of the European nations also. They listen to us and they respect us like they've never respected us before. So we're going to work very hard. We get along with them. We want to get along with as many nations as we can. We've been ripped off by a lot of them for a lot of years. And frankly, a lot of the Democrats knew that better than some of the Republicans. But we've been ripped off and taken advantage of by friend and foe. And in many cases, friend was worse than foe, but not anymore. We have, I don't know if you noticed, the deficit was cut down by 64%. Nobody's ever heard of a number like that. You know why? A thing called tariffs. The tariffs are so big and so substantial. And it was just announced 2 weeks ago, the deficit's cut down by, nobody ever heard of a number like that. If the deficit goes down by 2%, it's like a great thing. The tariffs have reduced the deficit by 64%. Nobody has ever seen. And frankly, we haven't even started yet. It's given us strength. We've solved 8 wars. Think of it, 8 wars have been solved. Although Thailand and Cambodia, I think I'm going to have to make a couple of phone calls on Thailand, but we'll get that one back on track. But think of it, we've solved 8 wars. That's never happened. And more Americans are working today than ever before in the history of our country. We've never had anything like it. We have more Americans working today than at any time, by far, in the history of our country. And 100% of all new jobs have been created, 100% created in the private sector. I mean, that's a big factor, right, Virginia, right? Also just announced real wages are up for the typical worker by more than $1,000 a year. That's a record, $1,000 a year.
Senator John Kennedy is a national fucking treasure.
Very hard, both sides, this year to keep the promises that you were elected on and to deliver big wins for the American people. And Democrats worked very hard too. I mean, I think you could get rid of a couple of your little policies like men and women's sports, open borders, transgender for everybody. But other than that, I like what you're doing. You passed the largest tax cuts in American history. We all did that. We passed the largest spending cuts in American history, and we have the largest regulation cuts by far in American history. All of these things we just passed. You passed the Lake and
Shout out to
Riley Act
Rumble.
to get
Hi,
criminal
Rumble.
aliens off the
Hey,
streets so they
smash the
don't
like button
kill our
for me,
people,
please.
hurt our people, mug our people, slice up our people, which is what they did. They're not doing it so much because crime is way down. And you passed the Genius Act to unleash a new era of financial innovation. And on a bipartisan basis, working with a woman named Melania. Have you heard of Melania? But working with our great First Lady, you passed the Take It Down Act to protect our nation's youth from some horrible people. And I think, I'm not sure, this is hard to believe. I believe this is correct. It was just about a unanimous vote, to which I said, maybe you should be doing my job, because I don't get one vote. You know that did anybody vote against it? Even Rand Paul voted for it, right? Because Rand Paul's an automatic no vote. He's not a Democrat vote, but he's an automatic no. Everybody voted. I think it was just about unanimous. I can't believe it. She came home. I said, I heard you got a unanimous vote. Yeah, she looks at me like, what was the big deal? But that was a great thing that she did, and a great thing that all of you did. Very soon, I'll hopefully be signing a National Defense Authorization Act that makes a historic investment in the United States military, which I think most people want to see. And I look forward to working with each and every one of you in the coming year to make our nation stronger, safer, wealthier, healthier. And I really believe we can work on healthcare together and come up with something that's going to be much better, much less expensive for the people, less expensive for our nation, but really most importantly, better and less expensive for the people. And we have an idea that rather than making these massive payments where their stocks went up 1,700% over a short period of time, the insurance companies, we make beautiful, big payments directly to the people, and they buy their own health insurance. And it's so good and so popular, and everybody wants it. And I think, frankly, a lot of the Democrats are going to want it too. It's been a very popular, ever since I uttered those words about a month ago, it's been very, very popular. So hopefully we can get that done together. So I want to just say in closing, you're going to have a fantastic evening. This food is unbelievable. The White House is known for great food, and it's better than that. And it's a great house. It's a special, special place. I've had a lot of nice houses, but I have to tell you, this house, it's just special. It's one of the reasons that every one of these events, all of them, are packed, sold out, waiting room. They're begging to come. People love the White House, and people love our country, and we love the Republicans, and we love the Democrats, so we love everybody else. We love everybody, especially tonight. Now, tomorrow I'll have to deny I ever said that, but that's okay. So I want to thank you. Maybe our First Lady would like to say something.
Good evening. Welcome to the White House. As the President said, our greatest triumph in my office, in the First Lady office in 2025 is Take It Down Act. I appreciate all of your support. I appreciate your overwhelmingly bipartisan support, and across the House and the Senate. Thank you, Mr. Speaker Johnson. And I hope you will be excited to support my new legislative initiative in 2026. Some of you already know about it because it's already in the works. Thank you very much. I wish you and your families a very happy and Merry Christmas and a healthy New Year. Thank you.
As corn pop.
Well, I just heard about that for the first time. The only thing I can tell you, I know one thing for sure, Mr. Speaker, it's going to be great. It's going to be great for children, okay? I don't know what it is she's doing, but I know it's going to be great for children because she loves children, and she's got a wonderful boy, and she's very proud of her boy, but she loves children, and if she puts it out, It'll be maybe unanimous again or whatever that was, but very close, unanimous again. I want to thank you all. Have a great Christmas, a great Hanukkah, and a fantastic year, but we're going to have a great 3 years, 4 years, 10 years. We're going to make it great. Our country is going to be strong.
Jeffy, thanks for the $10. Thanks for the content. I'm new. I have to welcome him. My capping is not a big deal. No, dude, you can. Everybody types in caps here because we're all old and we can't see the fucking screen. So, all right, okay. So that was that. That wasn't as long as I thought it was gonna be. That's good. Let me get this clown here off my screen. All right. We're not gonna finish that. Okay. Watch this. Hey. Shout out to the liberal hive mind. Okay. If you're not following the liberal hive mind here, you should be. Is a great content creator. I do not know him personally. Great content. Such a good content creator. You'll see. It's the liberal hive mind. You're welcome.
Welcome to the Liberal Hive Mind, a channel solely focused on exposing the abundant hypocrisy of the left. And of course, here's your meme of the day, brought to you by 5mind.com. You know, a lot of people talk about the harm that mainstream media has done, and right away your brain goes to fake news. And that's totally valid, but I think we have to take it a step further and really talk about the effects of what the mainstream media is doing with their constant fake news, fake outrage, hysteria pipeline. You know, I think you could argue over the last 10 years, we've basically witnessed a full-blown emotional collapse of a good chunk, maybe close to half of the country. We've essentially watched the modern left adopt this sort of new age secular religion, the cult of leftism, the cult of woke, and it's clearly a religion of hate where they've placed Donald Trump as the devil. President Trump is not just a regular politician to these people. No, he's some sort of supernatural evil force that has to be constantly talked about and obsessed over, schemed against,
I was very, very lucky to catch the one and only time this channel has gone live. I couldn't believe my eyes. It said liberal high. It was like 2 years ago, or maybe it was right near the election. So it just seems like 2 years ago. It was 1 year ago. I just happened to be sitting on my computer and it said liberal hive mind just went live. And I went, what? It was... He didn't show his face, of course, but it was a badass. It was like 3 hours of him talking. It was great.
Existed.
What a good channel this guy has.
Cult of conspiracy theories and cult of fear. And so, of course, if we're going to talk about this, you know, maybe I could actually simplify it. If we're going to talk about Trump derangement syndrome, then of course we got to start at the source with patient friggin' zero. That's Rosie O'Donnell. She was Trump deranged before the term was even coined. And actually, we've got an update from her therapist of all people. Let's talk about Trump derangement syndrome, shall we? We got some stuff to get into, so let's roll the tape. All right, folks. So take a look at this headline right over here. Apparently, Rosie O'Donnell's own therapist told her to, quote, detach from Trump for 2 days. Just see if you could do it for 2 days. And according to sources, she couldn't even make it 2 hours. You know, what was the purpose of isolating yourself, of casting yourself in exile in Ireland? As the Washington Post writes, Rosie O'Donnell's life in exile. What's the point of disappearing because the orange man's so bad, and then you're chronically online and obsessed with everything that he does? Can't even last 2 friggin' hours without seething at the orange man and his latest shenanigans. But you know, I think this is the perfect story to kind of set the tone, because this is Trump derangement syndrome in its purest form. And it's actually a very interesting phenomenon because it's not organic at all. Of course, we know it's a widespread phenomenon. There's millions of people who suffer from this mentally debilitating disease. But you know, they didn't catch this disease from a Chinese mosquito. No, I don't think mosquito soup was involved here in spreading this virus. No, this virus is totally engineered. The source comes from the media, from Hollywood, from big tech, from the algorithms, especially before X bought Twitter. I mean, I used to write.
Isn't it amazing how bad they all look? It's like this is like ruined their life. You know, it's weird. You know how I think, honestly, hot take. You're not gonna, you might think I'm crazy. Okay, don't unsubscribe. Okay, after I say this, don't unsubscribe. I think we're living in a simulation. You know how I think so? There's many, many things like Humpty Dumpty. In no way does it say he's an egg. Yeah, I know the picture is drawn of him as an egg, but why? Why? Say it to yourself. Humpty Dumpty sat on a wall. Humpty Dumpty had a great... No mention of it being a fucking egg. That's just one little small thing. You know what else? really makes my brain just explode. The following sentence in 2025 is 100% facts. And it breaks my brain to even say this. We're living in a simulation. Roseanne Barr is more attractive than Madonna.
About this almost every single day, especially as I'm monitoring my boomer parents and some of the other boomers around them. They're not exactly tech savvy, and you could just tell on your phone's curated news bulletins, on every social media algorithm with all the trending tabs, the entire media apparatus, the entire thing was one big organism that was flooding people.
I'm sorry, how is that possible? How is Roseanne Barr hotter than Madonna?
Feeds with the most wildest of Trump deranged conspiracy theories. Every week it was a new big bombshell, phony scandal, insider source, a leak, a whistleblower, a major accusation, a lawsuit, a case, a criminal investigation, a multi-year FBI-led coup. And people were being bombarded with this stuff from all these supposed authoritative sources.
Oh, undated. Me too. I'm forever single. I'll probably never be in a relationship again. I can't imagine myself like putting that much trust into someone else again. I can't do it. I'd rather be happy and content and have money and live my life and do what I want to do. I know that's not supposed to sound sad. It's the new norm, really. What's the alternative? Find some chick that I want to pay her bills forever? No, thank you. I'll pass.
That they had trusted all over their phones, their emails, just getting notifications and pop-ups. Donald Trump works directly for Vladimir Putin. And the fact is that some people have the ability to critically think better than others. You got a lot of people who snapped out of it, or they understand what's going on. They understand the partisan games that the media are playing, and they kind of just accept it as let's call it like a necessary evil in their mind. It's just politics. But then, of course, you got the diehards. You got the people who can't process these false realities that are being created here. No, they just buy the headline hook, line, and sinker, and they get hit enough times. They get enough fake news Trump deranged booster shots, and all of a sudden, you get some media-created abomination.
I almost got married once. My life would be way different had I gotten married. Interesting.
All of a sudden, you get people who devote their entire lives to this anti-Trump cultural phenomenon, of course. You have a massive cultural sphere that's pushing it and reinforcing it every single day. Every celebrity, late-night talk show, all the Marvel actors. Oh, Donald Trump is literally Hitler, bro. Every washed-up comedian pushing the same lowest-hanging fruit garbage comedy. Ooh, orange man, small hands. And of course, you got the bandwagoners who can't think for themselves. No internal monologue, it seems, who just join the resistance. And you could think at the back of your mind what a ridiculous phenomenon that is. You could scoff at it, get some chuckles, laugh, move on. What a bunch of pink-haired freakazoids engaging in whatever Antifa voodoo ritual they're up to this time. And while it is funny, at the end of the day, this is not something to be dismissed. This is a phenomenon that's been unleashed that the worst of the worst are clearly weaponizing and taking advantage of, and it's going to lead to disaster. And it's crazy because I say that as if it hasn't already happened. We're already in the disaster zone. Charlie Kirk was murdered in September. And so you see what this deranged environment is producing. The way people are being radicalized with this non-stop IV drip of anti-conservative hysteria. Actually, I got a clip that went viral 2 days ago that I think is going to kind of help me make a point here.
Dude, this is evil to do to me. Very
What's up,
evil.
Sonny?
No reason to feel bad for this guy. But yeah, okay, I don't want to get too into it. Okay, don't want to get too woke. Don't want to get too woke, but I mean, how much, it's just like realistically, man, how much sympathy can you possibly have for someone who actively like spent his life going and trying to take away and advocating for basic human rights to not go to gay people? Like, he advocated for like gay people not being allowed to get married. So it's like realistic, like, after you hear something like that, I just don't know how you can be, I don't know, like ever sympathetic. Like, Like, come on, man.
I mean, listen to that. You're basically hearing somebody justify political assassination, or at least it's very easy to assume that they feel Charlie Kirk's murder was justified, or it certainly doesn't bother them because he was so dangerous, because he openly opposed gay marriage. Listen to that. A perfectly acceptable, perfectly benign, just counter-social position is enough for them to feel absolutely no remorse in your political assassination. It's insane, and it represents, I think, the whole. This is what we're dealing with on the left. They're being told their rights are being taken away. It's 1940s Germany. Every single day they're being bombarded with over and over and over again. And it gets to a point where you just become radicalized. You become so part of the left-wing mission that I guess your reality gets warped to an extent where a president wanting smaller government, less foreign involvement, more American manufacturing, less taxes, a secure border, that now becomes 1940s Germany. What was basic classic liberalism in a lot of ways is now Adolf Hitlerianism, and it justifies Donald Trump being sent to prison for life, impeached. So many people wish death upon him after that failed assassination attempt in Butler, Pennsylvania. They truthfully believe that he deserves it because he's so evil, they've convinced themselves, because he wants lower taxes. Like, just think for a second how deranged they are. We're living in a fascist state. This president wants to give us more rights and more freedom. It's idiotic. And yet the media, the entire leftist apparatus just feeds into it. Hashtag no kings. Trump's Gestapo on the street. He's now a war criminal, bombing those poor Venezuelan fishermen. He's disappearing people on the streets. They're feeding into the hysteria over and over and over again. They're warping people's minds. They're ruining people's lives, ruining people's mental health. And in some cases, it has clearly disastrous consequences. Anyways, that's pretty much what I got for you guys. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.
I'd like to introduce.
Okay, one more of these. And then we're getting close to Rumble, guys. We're getting close. Tommy, I just talked to Tommy. If you're just joining us, smash the like button, okay? I just talked to Tommy. He's going live on Rumble as we speak. He's got a broadcast that's about to start before right when he starts or when it's time for this. When he goes live at ICE, we are going to do our after hours broadcast. We're going to close down the YouTube and we're all going to go over and switch to Rumble. Right now, I'm going to share the live stream link directly to my Rumble stream. We got 53 people over in Rumble already. I know this is Polly's favorite time of the evening. She shifts and becomes dark, Polly. If you don't know what that is, stay tuned. Polly, this time you think you can keep your clothes on, please? Thank you. Yep, I said that. You can yell at me for it later. So there is the link, guys. If you click that link above the chat that's pinned, it will automatically put you right into the Rumble. A few reasons why we're doing Rumble. Number one reason, better video quality. Number two reason, better audio quality. Number three reason, Rumble is a free speech platform. No muting because of music. No muting because of anything that's said. No muting or changing the screen because of fights or any sort of violent situations that come up. We will play it out in the open. Hell, I might even play music. It's a completely different experience. It's going to be the after hours part of my broadcast every time we're doing this. So if you don't know anything about Rumble, I cannot stress to you enough. It is almost exactly like YouTube. There is no money involved in this. If you watch me on your TV, you can go and download the Rumble app from the App Store, just like you did with YouTube. You just search for the word Rumble. It's free. If you want to make a free account so that you can follow me, which is the same thing as subscribing on YouTube, it's totally free. If you want to make a free account for Rumble, you can. If you'd like to follow me and share it, you can do that too. There are also memberships over there. That's when you subscribe, is the same as a membership. We have all kinds of emojis that are free and parts of the member. The prices for the memberships are adjusted by Rumble. I'm still trying to work that out over there, but feel free, to go on over there now if you want to. I'm still live on both platforms. We're going to watch the Liberal Hive Mind. If you need a few minutes to get it set up, you're going to get it. Tommy is not live yet, but he will be live soon. I have it up on, look, I'll show you. Look. Wait. Let me do it to where you can see it. I'll show you what it's looking like right now. I can't put on the sound, but look. See, there's Tommy. It's Thursday night ice stream. He's going to go live. He's not live. This is just like his intro. So I have this up on my other window. As soon as he goes live, we will stop what we're doing and we'll go over to Rumble. We'll stop the YouTube stream and you're all going to click the link and go over there. If you need help or you're trying to figure it out, why don't you go ahead and click on the link now and go on over to Rumble and get yourself set up on Rumble. It's very simple to operate. If you need help, Polly or Scuba Steve or anybody with a green name would be more than happy to help you. Maybe. They also might be a jerk to you. I don't know. So that's what we're going to do. It's better for you and it's better for me. That way, there is no choice. There's no chance of me getting in trouble, the stream being turned off, or any of that kind of nonsense, right? And honestly, let me be honest with you guys. I've said this before, I wish I could take each and every one of you and sit you right here, with me moved, of course, Polly, but sit you right here. Yeah, I said that shit. Sit you right here and let you see what an absolute clusterfuck it is to do this and mute and go, oh crap, he just said this word, I have to mute. And it's just, it's the R word that I can't say I can't even say the R word. Did you know what goes against the YouTube content policy? Saying that, the if it has an apple, it has a banana, the other way to say that, the way that we all say it, the way that Tommy says it, a certain person is that type of, that's against the YouTube content policy. I did not know that. I have to protect myself. I have to protect the content that I'm producing for you. It's for you too. It's for me. It's easier for me. It's better for you. It's a better watch. It's a better listen. I'm not going to be muting no matter what the music is. It could be mainstream. I've never, not one time ever, because I stream on Rumble every single time, right? I've never, not one time, had a situation where Rumble dinged me for music or any of that sort of thing. Never. It's all good. So, okay. So we have 116 people over on Rumble. So it looks like a lot of you have already moved over. We will be shutting down the YouTube stream. Okay, guys? Not right now, though. We're going to watch this, and I'm just looking at Tommy's stream, and I'm waiting for him, okay?
Solely focused on exposing the abundant hypocrisy.
Thank you for being a part of my show.
Here's your
like
meme of the day,
stream.
brought to you by
you.
5mind.com. I don't know about you guys, but I'm just loving the whole conversation right now. Over the last couple of weeks, I keep saying the same thing. I keep making the point that the left and their labels and their terms, their little emotional games, their racial politics, that it no longer carries weight anymore. Nobody freaking cares. Nobody's giving in to the emotional blackmail anymore. And as I've been saying this and ranting and raving in all of my videos, well, it seems like I'm not the only one thinking this way. It feels almost as if the entire Trump team is thinking the exact same thing. It's a new era, folks, at least if it's allowed to continue. But I'm telling you guys, it's a brand new era. Identity politics has failed. We're post-boy who cried wolf situation here. Been warning these Democrats forever. The more you use that term, the more you accuse people, the less value we'll attribute to the term. Well, I think we're finally there, folks. Stephen Miller is dropping an absolute bomb bomb on the mass migration scams on the entire Democrat agenda. Let me show you guys exactly what's going on. We got some stuff to get into, so let's roll the tape. All right, folks. So, well, I guess probably the best way I could introduce this clip. Could you imagine saying this 10 years ago? Could you imagine saying this during the era of Barack Obama?
So you see with a lot of these immigrant groups, not only is the first generation unsuccessful, again, Somalia is a clear example here, not only is the first generation unsuccessful, but you see persistent issues in every subsequent generation. So you see consistent high rates of welfare use, consistent high rates of criminal activity, consistent failures to assimilate. But this shouldn't be a surprise, Will. It's just common sense. If Somalians cannot make Somalia successful, why would we think that the track record would be any different in the United States? Go third world country by third world country. No one's saying, look, there are people all over the world that are great people. But you look at the society. If Libya keeps failing, if the Central African Republic keeps failing, if Somalia keeps failing, right? If these societies all over the world continue to fail, you have to ask yourself, if you bring those societies into our country and then give them unlimited free welfare, what do we think is going to happen? You're going to replicate the conditions that they left over and over and over again. And we mask the impact of immigration in every public policy issue we discuss. We talk about test scores. Well, if you subtract immigration out of test scores, all of a sudden our test scores skyrocket. If you subtract immigration out of healthcare, all of a sudden we don't have nearly the size of the healthcare challenges our country faces. If you subtract immigration out of public safety, all of a sudden we don't have violent crime in so many of our cities. Issue after issue, we talk about these things as they just happen to us. The schools just suddenly fail. Violent crime just suddenly explodes. The deficit just suddenly skyrockets. These are a result of social policy choices that we made through immigration.
Yeah, I don't think so, right? But see, that's the beauty. We no longer give a crap. The Democrats have accused us of racism this and racism that. It's become their catch-all defense for every single issue that at this point it no longer has an effect. And again, as I've been saying forever, the most important thing is culture.
Yeah,
the left
Alex.
loves to paint this image of racism, right?
True.
Oh, your issues. They can all be distilled down to a very simple concept. It's the skin color. You just don't like people because specifically the color of their skin. As if it's the melanin, right? It's the pigmentation. But this notion is ridiculous. As if it's tribal or as if it's solely and particularly linked to the color of skin. It is not. And rather it has everything to do with culture.
It's asinine that we can't have a realistic policy conversation about how certain cultures are quite literally incompatible with ours. It should be okay to say that. And more importantly, it should be okay to base our immigration policy on that.
That's exactly it. It's what I've been saying for years, and I'm glad that people are finally saying it. I'm glad that the talking point is now mainstream because it's true. Not all cultures are created equal. Let's just remove other races that aren't white. And let me just ask the simple question. Do you think you're going to get the same results if you import 100,000 people, let's say, from the United Kingdom, and on the other side you import 100,000 people from an Eastern European country or a Balkan country? The simple fact is no. And this is coming from somebody who is Greek. I'm going to tell you right off the bat, you're not going to get the same results from importing mass Greeks as opposed to importing mass French people. It's a cost-benefit analysis that applies to all people, and it has nothing to do with skin color, and rather everything to do with culture. And you know what? I'm going to continue leaning on my own identity for this. This might piss off many of my Greek followers. They might think I'm being somewhat of a traitor to my people or whatever the hell it is. But the reality is, Greece isn't exactly the most productive country. We like to lounge around, eat French fries, smoke cigarettes, eat some fresh fish. Life in Greece isn't as difficult. The weather's better. We're living on the ocean. Food is pretty easy to come by. And so it's just a different culture. It's not the same as the Swedes, friend.
Hey, so somebody says over in Rumble, now I can't watch on my TV. True sass. Yes, you can. There's a Rumble app on your TV just the exact same way just the same way as you download the app for YouTube, you just download the app for Rumble. It's the same thing. It's literally it's the exact same thing. There's no money involved. It's free. You just have to go and download it. They just added it, so you might not know it exists yet.
instance, for multiple different reasons.
But it's there.
You're probably
I
going
promise
to
you
get
there.
more
It's there.
problems importing mass Greeks than you would importing mass Swedes. And that now begs the question, does a country have the right to decide who they want to come in? You know, let's say there was a big analysis, a big study that Greek immigrants siphon the taxpayer to the tune of $1 million per person. You know, you'll see stuff like this. 81% of Somali immigrant households are taking welfare, and that remains relatively unchanged, only 3% difference. After 10 years of being in the country, meaning you've had 10 years to stabilize, and yet you're
We have
still dependent
160
on
on
government
each.
taxpayer
That's good.
dollars, government support. Well, if we had something like this, then if we had massive fraud rings and everything else popping up, and the story in the media was Greek immigrants are not assimilating, they're engaging in mass organized scams. Well, if you were to show me all of those facts, even, again, as a fellow Greek, I would say, well, you know, obviously it's not working out. It's not beneficial
Sure,
for the host
true.
nation. And
Sass,
so,
if
you
you
know,
need help,
you should probably
let us know. We'll help
reprioritize
you.
bringing in British, German, and French migrants. Why not? If that's best for your nation, then go ahead
Okay,
and do
Deb,
it. Why would you do something
video's
following
better
some
here
naive,
too, so-
la-di-da worldview? I mean, just to make yourself feel all warm and fuzzy inside, why would you enact policies that are detrimental to your country? It just makes no sense. Immigration is a very
Nice,
delicate
Mom.
subject,
That's
and the
good.
idea that you could just pour masses
It's
into a
good,
nation,
Sand Tiger. We're
millions
good.
by the years, with no actual
We're gonna,
plan,
as
no
soon as
thought
Tommy
process,
goes
and that
live,
things
guys,
would
we're
just
gonna switch
magically
completely
start
over to
working,
Rumble,
a utopia would form.
so that I
like
can
what Stephen
talk
Miller
some
was saying,
smack.
you're going to bring the Somali masses into the country, put them all in one district, in one area, and expect that you're going to create American results there with no effort. It's just going to happen naturally because the geography has changed. No, of course not. You're going to get little Mogadishu. And we got to be able to say that. We got to be able to have these conversations without being shamed into silence. And that is the conversation of the day, of the week, of the month, of the year, of the decade. It's time to get to a point where we could start telling the frickin' truth. Statistics tell a story. Perception, in many cases, is
Everything's
a very
better over on
powerful
Rumble,
tool. And
except
the
for the
idea that we should
amount of
remain
people.
blind, that we should shut up because we're too scared to be called racists.
Okay,
it's
it's
ridiculous.
pretty much the
And
same
I hope
as
it's a culture
YouTube.
of a bygone era because I personally enjoy the truth. Identifying issues that can be attributed to particular groups does not make you a racist.
Thomas,
It makes you perceptive. And well, in the case of Somali immigration, we've been very
We're doing good
patient,
on
very
Rumble.
accepting, very forgiving.
The
But at
money's
this point,
better on
I think
Rumble,
most people
too.
are coming to the conclusion that it's not worth it. It just isn't in the best interest of the nation. And
I just
maybe
gotta
just
catch
maybe
it
it's
up to
time
where
to start
YouTube is.
doing things that are. I don't
Yep.
know. Crazy
It is
concept
better
in
on
the
Rumble.
West
Yep.
for some reason. The rest of the world operates this way, but for some reason, we're
You
held
can
to a
watch
different
all your other
standard
stuff
now,
on
aren't
Rumble,
we?
too.
Well, this latest political movement is telling that
They have
standard
they have a
to
lot of
kick frickin'
stuff.
rocks,
T-Splies
and I
on
am
Rumble.
here for it. Anyways, that's pretty much what I got for you guys. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.
T-Splies on Rumble, guys. You can watch T-Sply on Rumble. His videos will be more clear. You know, White House, we already watched that. This is time. Okay, so what we're going to do. All right, it is time, guys. It is time. We are going to do this. We're going to full screen this. All right. No, hold on. No, we're going to do, wait. We are going to do something. We're going to do this. This one. We're going to put this one here. Let me see here. Hold on a second, guys. Just give me a second. There we go. We're going to put that one there. We're going to put this one right here. Oh. Hold on. I know there's nothing on the screen, but while Tommy's not live yet, I want to make sure that I'm getting things set up, okay? So this is what we're going to do here. Don't worry, guys. I know what I'm doing. I'm getting everything set up. You know what I mean? Have no fear. I know what I'm doing. I do. I really know what I'm doing. I'm getting everything set up while I can. You know what I mean? Just be patient. We're going to switch over. Hey, T-Sply. I was looking at the other screen. I didn't see you. T-Sply, you're busy. Been waiting all day for this show. Hey, T-Sply, we watched your video. Yeah, we watched your video. The BDF Blaze one is Minneapolis, Minnesota, and Los Angeles. We got Tommy's gonna go live. We got the thumbnail here. Yep. And we're going to we're going to step all over the toes of other people who are trying to do a nightly broadcast on Rumble at the exact same time as I am. How convenient for them. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to do our switch over. It is time for the adult portion of the broadcast. That sounded dirty. It wouldn't mean to be. I'm sorry, Mom. It's part of the after hours broadcast. We're going to be live with Tommy very soon. I was just texting with him. If you do not have Rumble, do not worry. It's free. It's easy to use. And pretty much it's better in every way. It's a freedom of speech platform. I don't have to mute for anything. So please, if you don't have Rumble, all you got to do is the link that's pinned at the top of the chat is a direct link. I will also share it with you. It is a direct link to my stream. I wish I could raid and force you guys to go there, but it doesn't work that way. Here is the link for people who don't know how to click at the top of the chat. That's where we are going right now. We are going to end the broadcast here on YouTube, Teaspoon. We're ending the broadcast. We are pulling a Steven Crowder. I am copying Steven Crowder. If he gets mad, that means I'm rich. I hope he gets mad that I am directly copying Steven Crowder. Please clip that and send it to him. I love you. Okay? I'm going to be the Temu Rumble after hours version of Matt Morse from now on. So, I don't wear flannel, and I'm a lot edgier and a lot more rude than Matt Morse could ever dream of being. And it's the After Hours show. Thank you for watching my informative news program. But now it's time for some fucking fun. You ready? I'm waiting to lean on the R word so much. Oh my God. All I gotta do is click one button and I can say whatever I want. And believe me, I got a lot to say. Okay, thank you so much for joining me on YouTube. I did a short today. I did a short yesterday. I did a short the day before. I did a short. I'm gonna do a short tomorrow. I have already recorded part of my shorts for the next 13, 14 days. I just made T-Sply smile. I'm trying the best I can to do shorts and live stream every day. So I appreciate you being here with me on YouTube. YouTube is still my bread and butter. It's still where I have my most audience, but I am trying to make Rumble a thing. So I appreciate all of you, Polly and Alex and all you guys Griffey, all you guys, Greg, everybody who may not understand what Rumble is about, but you're trying that. You're getting Rumble for the first time and you're figuring out all that stuff for me. And I can't say thank you enough. I really am so surprised that people actually like me. I'm not really used to that. I'm trying to get used to it. I'm trying to get used to it. But I am really, really, really comfortable. And that's why I like the trolls so much, guys. I'm really comfortable with being the bad guy. But you can't be a bad guy outside of the wrestling business. You gotta be a good guy. So I'm gonna try to be a good guy. And I appreciate it. Hey, what's up, Just Ryan? I see you, bro. Thank you so much, everybody. I'll see you on Rumble. Just a second. Let me do this. YouTube. Peace out. Hey, don't go watch something else. Keep watching us. We're going to go to Tommy's about to be live in just a minute. BDF Blaze is already live. We're going to turn on the sound here. It's going to be a fun time. I'm serious. We're going to do it. I might even put my game up. Maybe we'll see. We'll see what happens. I'll see you guys when I see you on YouTube. We'll do tomorrow's show, whatever we miss for tomorrow, because you're going to be at work tomorrow, right? It's Friday. We're going to do a whole Friday show recap. Friday night's going to be crazy, and I'm going to show the entire thing. Tamik, I like you guys too. Mickey Molina, you made it. Hell yeah. It's time for the after hours. It's time for the after show. You ready? All the kids, it's time for you to go to bed. All the old people who don't like a little spiciness, it's time for you to go to bed. YouTube, close down. Go to Rumble right now. Click the link. Go to Rumble. Go to Rumble. Go to Rumble. Thanks for watching, YouTube. Peace. I need someone to bear